My name is Braxton Harrison. I'm not Will Poulter. And this is a Different Generations podcast.
You know what else I got? Ear hair and nose hair. Something else that comes with age, and I hate it.
You got any of that, Braxton?
I don't.
You will.
I'm not there yet, I guess. Ooh.
One of these days, your chest hair, the three you got, will wrap around to your back, and you.
Jason, you know what I smelled the entire drive up here?
What's that?
DJ.
Makes me wonder what y'all did in there. That he left his.
I really do wonder.
Odor on you.
Because, I just want to know, how do you be at a vehicle with cold air blowing on you, cold air blowing behind you and under you?
And sweat?
Profusely.
Solve that mystery for him, Spoon. What's the scientific name for fat ass?
Diabetes. I got both types of diabetes.
Oh, damn.
All right, that was funny. That was a good one.
Are we ready to start this? Have y'all been
We're
recording?
rolling, yeah.
Oh,
We're
y'all been
rolling.
rolling
We're
the whole
hot.
time?
We're in
oh,
here.
shit. Spoon, you got here finally. What held you up this morning?
Was in court. Oh, you want me to elaborate? I was in court, eviction court this morning.
What happened? How'd it go?
It went fine for us.
Elaborate.
What were you evicting for?
Non-payment of rent.
Why you seem so sad right now?
I am not sad. It
He
was a
kicked someone
personal
out.
best
They're on the
today.
street now because it's Jason.
It's a weird personal best for me. I fired somebody today and kicked somebody out in court.
You fired somebody?
Yeah.
Who'd you
One of
fire?
the VAs.
Jesus Christ.
She's begging him.
Yeah, it was a weird call. It's like screaming and crying on the phone. It was one of the weirdest phone calls I've ever had in business.
She said, Mr. Corey would never do this.
Mr. Corey wouldn't.
Mr. Corey would be paying her child support right now. So,
For real, though. Like, let her know.
So this is
you
your only
just
other
gotta
option.
go to like wherever she lives. I'll get you set up.
Get me set up, man. Give me a little something. You know what I mean? Give me an address. So why'd you fire her?
Well, the person in charge of them right now, Ashley, had noticed that she was consistently doing 10 hours of work less than even the. So with our VAs, a lot of times they will clock in whatever hours they can, depending on internet situations in their area, because some of them live in rural areas. She was consistently lower than everybody else over time.
So you had to let her go?
Oh, this is her second warning.
How was her production, though?
Terrible. Terrible.
How many deals did you close that she called in?
I don't think any.
You don't know. You don't track
I
it.
said I don't think.
And you don't track
He
it.
did say, I don't think.
How many deals do we have on our board right now from the dollar
I don't know.
under
How many?
contract?
I think 3.
Which 3?
Sherman was one.
Yep.
I guess that's kind of off.
Yeah.
There was I guess Florence never made it up there. That was one that's working.
So we're at 0 still.
No, there's one.
One. I gotta think of everything that's up there. I know I'm missing one, at least.
Yeah. One very easy one. I'll give you a context for it. You live in office in the same town.
Waco.
Waco. The Waco deal.
There's a
came from
Waco
the
one
dollar.
up there.
Yeah. So, pretty wild.
That one took a lot of calls, too.
A lot of follow-up. How many?
I think that was I know I called them at least 5 times before we finally got them back in the system. Just wouldn't answer.
Spoon, how much following up you doing these days?
Almost none.
I just see Waco, and I'm like, ooh.
Almost none.
Yeah.
How do you get away with that?
I'm so badass at everything else.
You just be watching movies all day?
Dude, there's a what's the word?
Ominous.
Ominous cloud over real estate right now.
I don't think it's that bad.
Spoon.
How would you know you're not following it up?
Oh, I know that we haven't closed anything like we need to in the past few weeks. But I'm just saying there's a lot of negative space out there. Everybody's negative. And why be negative about it?
Spoon's funny.
You're like one of the most negative people.
Well, and he's like, there's a lot of negative in this space. I'm going to take the head in the sand approach. That's what I heard. Well, you're like, I'm just going to be positive. But the data says, our own board's data, I haven't looked at anybody else's data. I only look at our data. Our data says that lowest circle would not sell, 150 grand, would not sell, would not show. That's a bad sign. Those are good pictures. I don't know if it really looks that good in real life. Does it look that good in real life? That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. Cameron, completely remodeled. Subway tile, granite, completely remodeled. New roof, the works.
New foundation.
The cheapest price per square foot house in the town. Only 5 houses for sale in the town. Only 5. Inventory for the town is 5. No showings. 1 showing. It's got 1 showing in what, 2.5 weeks? That's not good. That's not good. So, anyways, investors left the marketplace. Retail buyers are not there. The only buyers that are, and maybe probably have never left, probably could set your watch bomb, or what buyers?
Owner finance.
Spoon, you're whispering. You got to say it from the throat, boy.
Owner finance.
Owner finance.
So, in a world.
What do you think? What do you think about it, Spoonie? Like what how many people? I was telling Braxton, you don't know this, but I was looking. I don't have access to the people that cancel on Batch in the way that Batch does, but Batch is kind of relaying that information to me, like on the people.
You mean they cancel their subscriptions?
Cancel their subscriptions.
Gotcha.
And we've got people that we do business with, that we do loans for, that we do business with on a regular basis, canceling their subscription to their marketing source. Now, whether dissatisfied with the marketing or whatever is kind of, could be the case. But I don't know how they could be, because they locked up every deal that they ever had off the system. You know what I mean? We trained them on it. We ran them through it. They're doing good deals. They're canceling their subscriptions. 2 of them that I know of in the last month.
And why do you think that is?
Because their money stalled out.
Is this on dialing or texting?
Dialing, texting, mailers. They probably never took the plunge to do mailers. Was dove hunting with some guys the other day. They send 5,000 mailers a month. When I told them we sent 40, they were about to shit themselves. They couldn't believe it. They're solopreneurs. They do enough business to make a good living, and I mean they don't have any employees.
I mean, and 40 really ain't that much. I mean, that's a lot for a small company. But when you look at the volume being thrown out by the New Westerns and Net Worths and all of those home investors, like they all send way, way more than we do.
These guys are home investors.
And they're not putting their money into their pool.
No, they are. They're forced to.
I understand, but the way home investors works is you get a proportional amount of marketing based off what you put in. So if somebody quads up their money, they get 4/5 of the leads and they get 1/5.
All right, well, whatever. I don't know what you just said, Spoon. I've not. Do you understand that?
Maybe.
So
does someone just get screwed if everything they own is 10 grand a month? And
so if I come into your
50?
market because I can get a home investor and I just want to, if I could be a home investor in Houston and I just want to spend in Waco, and I get up there and I dump 100 grand and you're only dumping 5 grand, you get, if I dump 95 in and you dump 5, you would get 5% of those leads. I would get the other 95%.
That's a scam.
That's how their marketing works.
I would riot.
You're being a scam artist right now, Spoon, and we don't like it.
Just no, because we had a friend that was selling his franchise.
That's insane, though. Like, so you just get, sorry, guy, I got more money.
Yep.
Later.
You get a directly proportional amount.
But, all right, so let's just look at data. There's 90,000 records in McLennan County. What's 90,000 times 0.42? It's going to be
like 47 or something?
Yeah. 90,000 times 0.42.
37.8.
So for $37,000 a month, you can talk to every single property owner in McLennan County via mail.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me that out of that, just in that, I mean, you're talking 40 grand a month. We spend 20 right now. For 40, we could talk to everybody in Waco that we couldn't farm Waco Like that everybody just wouldn't know who the fuck we are.
Well, I believe we could.
Oh, I know we can. I know we could close. What would it take? How many deals would it take to make money spending $40 a month? How many deals you think? It's hard to really put a number on it.
I mean, you just have to take a new tax out of each deal.
No, but I mean, the easy way is like say $10,000 a deal, 4 deals, and you're in the money. You know, doing 4 deals a month in Waco. I mean, we were doing it with bandit signs, so it's probably doable.
Throwing an
with the right
assignment in
mail.
there too.
Yeah, but then you get a Hillsboro where you get $1 million in equity, and it just blows the whole thing out of proportion.
Right.
Spoon's thinking long and hard about it, but
No, I was just thinking about what it would take to permeate all the places that we normally shop.
it wouldn't take anything. I did the math. I mean,
70,
we're already
70
doing
grand a month.
We're already doing it in the asset class. In the asset classes we want to buy in, we are already talking to everybody in those counties.
Right.
In those asset classes, we talk to them every single month. They hear from us, which is why a lot of them are starting to domino. Even though our marketing isn't hitting in that asset class,
Right.
they're just dominoing off of old.
Sure.
You know,
that thing's been on their fridge under a magnet.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I shit on direct mail hard when we were doing texting, and I love texting. Work-wise, Braxton, which do you like better, direct mail or texting?
Direct mail, I think.
I love texting.
Well, the direct mail to me is a lot of times like a bandit sign. They've already called a realtor.
Oh yeah, I think it's a hot lead.
They already know that the realtor's showing up and being like, yeah, we'll be happy to list it. I'd love to list it. I need you to do $140,000 worth of work.
Spoon's got his crystal ball out again.
I will say, I hear very frequently.
You're telling me that that's not what happens with bandit signs?
I've gotten a lot of these. Just finally want to see what y'all would offer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's.
So
most people, I would say that. I've gotten a lot of these. I just kind of want to see what you offer.
Yeah, it's third or fourth time they're getting hit. But that being said, Spoon's saying they've already talked to a real estate agent. That's just.
No, I'm just saying that I think that's the same with it's a better quality lead like with bandit signs.
It's because it's a warm lead. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not they've talked to a real estate agent or not.
I would think the
I'm
human
not
that
saying
calls
that's-
off a postcard in the mail is not the human to seek a realtor first.
Yeah.
Same
Real
with
estate
the
agents
bandit
are
sign.
also sending them mail. When I had my land out in Limestone County, there was one real estate agent that would mail me a postcard probably once a month. So it was a large tract of land, 60 acres. So I'd get a postcard from her once a month. We sell more ranches in Texas than anybody else. We sell more ranches in Texas than anybody else. The day I got ready to sell my house, I called her, right? And I said, what can you get me for this, right? She gave me a number. I called another real estate agent that we were working with on one of our flips. And I said, what can you get me for this? And she said, well, let's list it for more money than the first lady had said, right? And see if you can get it. And then we listed it for that and we got it. And so she got the first call. The lady that sent me the postcard got the first call. I mean, she'd sent them only because I knew that she had sent multiple cards. And I really thought she sold more ranches in Texas than anybody else. That's what I believed. She put it on a card and I believed it. So, direct mail is a warm lead though. That's why it's better. So you like direct mail leads? Do you like texting direct mail? I know you don't talk to leads often, Spoonie, but when you do, which ones do you like?
I'm following up with our big one right now, multiple times a day.
What's our big one?
The one in the same town as his portfolio.
You're following up with it.
The one we're trying to close right now.
Scheduled for Thursday.
Yeah, it's already
I
scheduled.
understand. The dude's getting a little spooky.
What, did you flick a booger on the fucking...
No, I flicked this cuticle down there.
What are you doing right now, Spoon?
You're
We're
scaring
on a
me.
podcast with cameras on. You're flicking bodily fluids on the... There was a dude with a dustbuster over here vacuuming up
Wow.
bullshit, and you're
That
just
Dyson Airblade.
you're just
A
throwing...
Dyson Airblade Dustbuster?
That's what it was.
Never seen
Spoon,
a
you're
Dyson
being
Airblade.
rude right
I don't
now.
have that kind of money.
You're being rude. That was rude.
Yeah.
That was a rude move. It was a little weird, too.
Going back, I do want to point out, though, with your story about the realtor, it's like I do think that goes into show. It's like sales training might have made that difference. She didn't have an outrageous claim, and she didn't try to close you.
Oh, yeah.
Just the marketing got your foot in the door, but
the sales training would have got it across the finish line. I think that overall, our direct mail leads are better. I think they're better because we can get quicker to the point without a lot of back and forth. I think Braxton having to manage text messages all day long, just all day long, or Ashley or anybody else, it feels busy. It feels like I'm doing something. I'm making progress. And you get a lot of responses that are happy. They make you real happy. You know what I mean? You're so fucking happy. But then they're fake. Or they're fucking setting you up to sue you. Or whatever it is. But the endorphins are there constantly. It's just instant gratification.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're doing something, but at the end of the day, whenever you look at the KPIs,
treading a lot of water.
Yeah, the KPIs come back and you're like, well, what do we spend on this? The one good thing about buying the data for the text messages, you can call that data too. You know what I mean? We got cold callers right now. Really and truly, I mean, that $3,000 a month we spend on cold callers, or I think it's about $4 probably with $1. It's good to have them working, because whenever they do drag that multifamily in, that makes it all worth it. It'll pay off then, but really it's just a sunk cost at this point. Mainly because we need to hire somebody to train those people.
That would be good.
The Andrea Yates?
Stokes, I think. Stakes or Stokes.
Yeah.
She's on the website, Highbind website.
Yeah. She seems like she does good training, and she said she's no longer in real estate. She got burned by one of the big gurus. The big big ain't even the right. He's big fat, but what would you say my natural iteration of guru is? I'm real estate now. Where does it go next?
Oh, I feel like it's fitness next.
Fitness?
Like, that's what I've seen. There's either fitness or wellness. Like they have to get into like bodily wellness.
Like a
what about spiritual wellness?
Life coach.
That's in there too. So it's like
think
life
there's ever a
coaching,
touch in
spiritual
crypto?
wellness, like teaching about reishi and stuff because they read it on the internet, or feng shui, and then or just like you're just out there like, this is how you get ripped. Download my $19 fitness plan. Like it's one of those. That's the next step.
That's the next generation. So so right now I'm getting fat so I can get skinny.
You
Will
could
he
just
be
become a Buddha.
Would he be fat while he's selling fitness content though? Like, does he have to be ripped in order to get into the fitness stage?
I mean, because that's a long arc. Because now he has to do this like year-long transformation.
Yeah.
You have to climb a mountain, I think.
No, there's no mountain climbing. That would be real.
But at the end of it is him, dude. What's the guy's name
You'll
that does
watch
all
the
the cold
movie.
weather swimming?
I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about? He's the big fitness guru from like Iceland. He like swims in ice water. You're gonna like get real fit, and then you'll be doing like these videos on the side of a volcano in a hot springs.
Wim Hof?
Yeah, Wim Hof. That's it. Wim Hof. Like that's your natural iteration. You'll be like, I just climbed a mountain with Wim Hof in my underwear, and now we're going to go to these hot springs on the side of this volcano. And, you can join us here.
He is.
It's going to be...
Okay, I have seen that guy.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
legit, he's been studied by science. Like, he's...
What does Sohail know
freaking
everything, by the way?
That was Eric.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
But
But
Impressive.
one of our other clients, Jess, we talk about this stuff a lot. So.
okay.
Yeah, but listen, Spoon. I get what you're saying. So
like, he's the real deal, though. I'm saying you're going to arc into this
no.
and be like, then you're going to be like, dude, the newest thing is NAD and cryo.
No, that's what I was about to say. The I've been noticing a lot of people taking ice baths in the real estate space.
Yeah.
I don't notice as much
Let's do
follow
it.
up as I notice
right
ice
now.
baths.
Let's take the whole crew up there. We'll do ice baths.
You
and-
just
I know I
plow
got it.
through
I just-
you just plowed through.
I got it.
I mean, mental health. Mental health is. I've seen a bunch of posts about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen somebody post about the time that they ripped somebody off and how it was a mistake, like real life.
It's good.
What?
Acknowledging their actions.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, in 2017 I ripped someone off and it was a mistake, and I'm like, wow,
Did you give them your
Wow.
money back?
But you're rich now.
that's
I wonder if
What-
they gave the money back, though.
this person disappeared for 8 months. Didn't hear a peep.
That's the arc. That's
the arc you were talking about.
No,
But
it has to be. Like,
not- they're back in real estate though.
right, but that doesn't mean you can't come back to real estate. Like, you can't be a real estate guru. It's really hard to just stay that real estate guru and not have some kind of arc somewhere else. And then you come back like, now that I'm fully fit and I can get an insurance policy by just making a phone call, it's made my real estate business even better.
Then you go into the life insurance borrowing life hack money thing.
Oh, I'm telling you, like
it's a whole hustle.
It's you have to have these continual arcs to keep people's interest.
That's what it is. They probably read a book on it. It's like, I pretend like I went to jail. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
specific.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like somebody read Russell. What's his name? Russell Brand? Or,
did he pretend to go to jail?
No. What's Russell? The
Brunson.
Guy, Brunson, the ClickFunnels guy, and his 6 archetypes of how to write a copywriting story, and they just bounce those back and forth.
But like, I ripped somebody off in 2017. Is a very, very interesting copyright.
I feel like I could write a book about how I got ripped off in 2017.
Yeah. I ripped somebody off in 2017, and now I'm here to tell you I felt bad. It set me back. But if you pay me some money, I'll coach you, and I'll make sure you don't make that mistake.
In 2017,
I feel like
in 2017, I got cucked by a buyer in front of a seller while their dead cat, stuffed cat, was staring at me on their fireplace.
Would you reverse? What word did you say?
Cucked.
Interesting.
I mean, that's essentially what it was.
I personally
had a buyer come in a room, and he's like, "Here's the deal. I don't know this guy. I don't like him. I'll pay $1,000 to burn his contract, and for you to go away.
Pay him the $1,000.
I'll pay him $1,000 if y'all will cancel your contract with him and sell to me." That was my very first deal.
And then they made 22 grand on it. So the guy that comes in that brings that new spoon, that was his friend, made 22 grand.
And I will say, the other person tried to talk me into doing a deal with him, but I didn't even understand him. And he had already had this conversation with me where he's like, "I want him out." Like, this all happened in the living room.
In regards to you.
Like, I wasn't sitting there. Like, I was,
but they
like,
wanted
he's
you
not
out.
my kid. I will pay this for him to go away. And then afterwards, he's like, "Hey, dude, if you'll do the deal with me, I'll split some weird." And I'm like, "I don't even know you. And you literally just showed me your pistol. I've known you for 5 minutes. And the first thing you did, here's my pistol." I'm like, "This is a weird interaction, sir."
This is that 2017 I ripped somebody off story, but not the same one. But here's the best part about that whole deal. The best part. So they do that. They take him to eat. They show him the money they made. You know what I mean? They gave him a funny nickname, blasted him all over the internet.
Still on the website.
Jason owns the website. They called him the fly-by-night wholesaler.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. It was real popular in the crowd at that time. The fellas, the bros, would use fly-by-night wholesaler. Like, they'd steam around fly-by-night wholesaler. In the meantime, I'd eat dinner at their card table with his super pregnant wife.
Very pregnant. I mean, she had 15 pounds of baby in there.
Yeah. But had sliders. Good sliders. And anyways, I had no idea. I had no idea at this juncture that he was the fly-by-night wholesaler. You know what I mean? But I'm just in the presence of a fucking internet meme at the time.
I didn't even know it at the time. I found out later.
Oh yeah,
I bought the website before I knew I was the meme. That's the funniness of it all. Just because I'm like an opportunist. When I see something like that, I'm like, bloop, done.
And the person told me the story about the fly-by-night wholesaler. And then he told me the story about his beginning real estate, and I'll put the two together. I was like, "Holy shit, you're the fly-by-night wholesaler!"
It's like, huh?
But here's what came out of that, right? Like, you know, people, it's a weird deal, man. People are, "Oh, you're so humble," all that stuff. I don't think that's it. I think I'm weirdly self-deprecating a lot of times. But
I don't know what that means. You
hardest,
defecate on yourself?
Yeah, deprecation, not defecation.
Oh, I thought you shit your pants.
Probably the hardest day of my life was having to go home and tell my wife we finally made some money today after we had burned all our money. But I made $1,000 and I had to because we didn't have enough money to like eat. Like, we didn't have enough money to pay fucking rent.
Now.
And I sucked that shit up and I said, "Okay, I'll take it," because I had months of telling my wife, "Hey, I didn't make $1 again today."
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I ain't never had those problems. I don't have a wife.
I'm just saying.
And I make money.
When you see that fucking flame dimming out in your wife's eyes a little bit more every day, like, "Oh, he's gonna do it." Like, that's one of the those are some of those character arcs that really like make you. Like,
are you about to fucking sell us something? Because
I
I'm
am.
buying.
I am.
What's the price?
The only thing that topped that was the day, and this was probably a few months after that, because Deacon had a lot of diet problems. He had a lot of trouble when he was younger.
God bless. Now,
But
the whole vibe's getting
no,
weird.
it's going to get better because this is what makes or break you, Braxton.
You're scaring me, Jason.
She told me I need formula on the way home, and I stopped at the Cedar Hill Target, and I couldn't afford enough formula to get through the week. We talked about this the other day.
But you could have ran out of there with your white privilege and just fucking sprinted out with.
But
some-
I went home and put out bandit signs, and that's where it all changed, right? And this is after Corey's like, "Hey, all them bandit signs are doing. I bet they're getting you a lot of leads in your garage, right?" Like
He was being sarcastic, by the way, at that point.
I know, but that was good. The good kind of sarcasm. Unfortunately, he hasn't stopped being sarcastic for 5 years now. Like it's a constant.
It's not sarcasm. It's motivation. See, change your life.
You just admitted that.
Because that did for. Look, I've never said he hadn't changed my life. Sometimes in better ways, sometimes in worse ways.
I've never gave you.
Would you say that Corey rocked your world?
No,
All night
I
long?
I would say he made me face that day. I had to face my own fear to be successful for my family.
That's a lot of $20 words. That
Fear?
somebody take that. So he'll take that little deal right there and meme that shit and put it on him. We can catch a skill frame of him like you know what I mean. One of those like where you're pointing.
What are you pointing at?
I don't know. Like when I see gurus with their fucking quote at the bottom, and it's like a live action photo of them like proclaiming something. I always wonder who took that picture.
I feel like I've got to just start writing. Like when I see these things written on Facebook, I'm just like, God damn,
when you
it's
see
so
this
much
one
copy.
written, when you see this one written on there, that little, however that ended, those $20 that mashup, you're gonna be
Fear.
like, holy shit, that was gibberish. It's gonna be a Joe Biden speech. But either way,
I mean, so far he's still the most popular president that's ever happened. So
This is
gibberish
true.
or not,
it's true. I look forward to his next speech. But you have you've made it. But this is the point. Guy right now has a status up as we are sitting here. We will pull it up on our phones later. We're not going to out this human. I think he has good intentions. I don't think he's a bad human. I just think he's rolling with the wrong crowd. His 5 people aren't the best people. I think he probably learned it. I think the person that was mentoring him probably told him, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with that." You and I have both heard. So what he did was he took a contract. He took an assignment on it. Bam, get an assignment. Somebody comes in and offers him more money, and he goes and executes with the person that offered him more money. Tells the other person the seller doesn't want to sell. Instead of just telling him, "Hey, I got more money. I'd like to take this more
I'm
money."
starving. I really need this.
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Sorry, bro.
If that is the truth.
Sure.
But whatever it is, I want to take this deal with more money. He tells the person, the original person that he assigned it to, that the seller doesn't want to sell. That guy files a memo, and then they get sued. And his mentor, big Yoshi, big baller, probably told him that was acceptable behavior, which you and I both know isn't acceptable behavior, and ended in a lawsuit. That's on the internet right now as we're saying this. And when I read it, I just thought to myself, I was like, man, the transparency that's coming out right now, this is how you know the market's shifting. Now motherfuckers get to tell about the time that they fucking stole $7 from somebody else or fucking did shit business. And the funny part is that those two humans got in a fight over $5,000. Could you imagine me and you fighting over $5,000?
No.
Ending a partnership over $5,000?
No.
Like, I wonder which one of us would write the check to the other one for $5,000 to avoid it.
You got mad at me when I wanted my money back from bail.
No, I didn't.
I'm just messing with you.
I was like, you kept. How did you word it? You're like, I got to get that money back, and I'm like, oh, I got you. I don't know if I had the money at the time. I might not have had the money.
No, I don't know. We were broke, all of us.
Yeah,
Like,
I might have been
I
like,
was hand to mouth like that. I had $800 in cash in my house. Like I'm hoarding it. Like it's the last fucking.
And then he had to come bail me out
Like for a
and
30.
get a chick a hotel room.
That's super on a holiday. This holiday.
A married chick.
No, was this the?
One married to
It
me
was your
or him.
birthday.
Yeah, it was my birthday.
So
Well, it was his birthday. Stop being
it's
so...
a holiday though. It's Memorial
Come
Day.
on.
Memorial Day.
Weekend.
Worst y'all ever been to.
Memorial Day. Hey dude, we gotta get Corey out. For what? I show up. there's just a random chick from another country in his car, like another country, not like a close country, 20 hours away on a plane country, and
this peak in internet popularity.
Yeah, this is like, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I guess we get you a room. So I have to leave my wife and kids on a holiday
to go get another chick a hotel room
to get him out of jail, which I couldn't do. But then I end up, she's like, my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, getting a lady a hotel room? Like, I don't even know her. Like, this is.
But back to this. Let's get back on topic.
Funny times.
So the person that put this out there, okay? Here's why you sell yourself short when you do this kind of business. The guy that labeled you fly by night wholesaler, he could have created the partnership that we have.
He could. I might start selling T-shirts.
He could have created the partnership we have. He could have created the partnership he have. He'd have been plugged into your banking relationships. You brought how many banking relationships to this? You just pull a bank out of. It's like there's dire straits. We're all like really lost and don't know who's going to refinance something. You're like, oh, I got this guy I went to second grade with, and we'd known him, and he refinanced $1 trillion for my mom and his business all the time.
Oh.
Let's see if he'll cut us a loan, and then he
also got a billionaire in my back pocket.
Yeah, I also got a billionaire. I'll call my billionaire
his money's
buddy.
tapped right now, but I'm fixing to go hit him, or we're going to hit him up for strategic partnership.
Good. One day we're sitting in the meeting and Spoon's like, I know a guy that's a billionaire. And we're like, no, you don't. And he's like, yeah, we can call him right now. And so he calls him.
It's like, yeah.
I didn't say he was a billionaire.
Well,
I said, I got a friend with money. He has access to money.
And he's a billionaire.
He's not. He's
plugged in with a billionaire. And he's like, oh, yeah, we can fund anything. 30 million, whatever.
That's probably true.
I mean, he said it on the phone. Like we've all were on speakerphone with this dude and had an entire conversation with him. That's the kind of stuff that Spoon just pulls out of his hat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Think we need it.
How much we need? $100,000. I got this guy that might have some money. He's like, I can fund anything up to 30 billion. 100 ain't really going to get it done.
But here's the thing though. So I tell people this all the time because Corey has this weird innate ability. Like he went fishing in South Texas with an onion farmer and came back with like $2 million.
Does happen.
Like, so I got invited to the fanciest place I've ever been as far as country clubs the other day, because this is a Muni guy. I play at the Muni course, right? Like,
yeah.
There's a hamburger stand.
I don't know what that means.
Municipal golf course, just a normal, like, city course.
You ever play golf?
Well, obviously, y'all aren't bougie enough to play at the Muni.
That's rich people shit.
It's not. There's Cleburne Municipal and Cleburne Country Club.
For one, just say municipal next time, please.
Anyways, my point is, I get invited to this fancy country club, and it's all these old white dudes down there telling jokes and stuff, and I don't fit in. I literally was like, can I make Caddyshack jokes? Because I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
It was the only acceptable thing I think I could do. I've never been surrounded by that much money that quickly in one place. You could just smell the money in there.
What did it smell like? DJ?
Old people. It was like,
smell?
you go in the bathroom, and it was like they had the, like, you remember at the old barbershops they had like the oil bottles for like old
I like
dudes'
it when
hair?
You do that. Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
No,
the whole time.
Hair oil.
While we talk about hair oil, if you do that the whole time, it'd be nice.
So they had all that shit in there. Anyways, my point is, like, the guys asked me, like, how do you find money? I'm like, homie, it's around you. It's everywhere in this room right now. You just got to talk to these guys. And I said, I guarantee you, if you give me all day in here, I'm walking out of here with money.
Maybe, but all that beside the point. They did not create that partnership with you.
Oh,
they sold themselves short.
Yeah.
You just told an entire story that is total Spoon story in the middle of. We've been trying to make.
I thought we were going somewhere else with it.
We've just been trying to make the point that the guy that labeled you fly by night wholesaler missed out on not only your sweetheartness and your $20 words about trees and flowers and what's a muni?
A municipal.
It's like second cousin to the tranny.
Very, very different words, I think, on that one.
I like transmissions.
Transmissions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we meant. Anyways, so that right there, you got all this in there, and they passed on that. And they passed on that they passed on it collectively as a group. Any one of them could have made it right at any point in time to make an extra $11,000.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't have any hard feelings about it because I don't know where
I do.
Well, it's relative, right?
No, I don't blame the guy with the money. The person that doesn't know you doesn't owe you anything. That's one. Okay. Now they can sell themselves short, but the person that doesn't know you doesn't owe you anything. The person that does know you in that situation, They should not put their situation before yours because all they did was sell themselves short on, one, having a great human in their life, two, being very well plugged into a vast community, because we all have those communities, right?
Yeah.
I have my own community I brought to the partnership.
People completely undersell what their connections are.
Yeah, I have a tribe I brought. Braxton has a tribe he brought. I mean, Braxton
He's got old money access.
Yeah, but Braxton gets to eat lunch with a CEO that's worth $250 million, but that's not old money.
300 now.
$300 million. He gets to eat lunch with this guy. Everybody brings something to the table when you really look at it. Now, being a poor kid from trailer park, you're like, oh well, how did it happen? Well, I hauled hay with people. I answered the phone when I was 13 years old and showed up and loaded square bales on a trailer. That connection at that moment in time grew into this, right? Grew into where I'm at now.
Right.
And everybody has done that for somebody. I would assume, unless you value $5,000 in this particular situation. I'm talking about two specific people that I won't name that were buddies. They're the best bros ever. They burn each other down over $5,000. And it's a weird deal that when they were burning each other down over the $5,000, they're just burning each other down. Now they're best friends again. Why? Because there's this omnious, is that the word? Cloud over real estate right now. You're seeing it everywhere. These people that don't have access to capital, their buyers aren't buying. They don't have good credit. They don't know how to operate real estate. They are getting burned out of this business at probably a record pace right now. Because when it happened with COVID, what happened next after COVID? Like once they did the COVID lockdown and there was that lull. I mean, we were out trimming trees. I don't know if you were there, but the rest of us loaded up and started trimming trees. I think you were locked down in Cleburne. But we started trimming trees. We started going out to the houses that we had, the little 6 or 7. Our inventory was like 9 properties at that time, right?
It's a few more now.
It's a few more now, but our inventory was 9 at that time, and we started mowing the grass at them and billing the company for us mowing the grass to make money, right? We started doing the work that we would normally pay somebody else to do to pay ourselves to be able to earn income, because we didn't know if anything was ever going to sell again. And then it's like, okay, our bank's going to keep lending. Banking got on shaky ground there for a little bit. Didn't know how they were going to act. But what happened next?
We unloaded all of our properties at one
time. Yeah,
but
in between that, PPP.
EIDL.
PPP and EIDL came in and was like, bam, here you go.
Some liquidity. Here's
some liquidity. Enjoy it. Treat yourself, right? And then the market turned around it was like a down and then up. I mean,
we were starving to death. Like we had 7 houses on the market when that hit. We
bought one. We closed on one even after that. We closed on that one on the lake.
We had multiple renters just say, hey, man, I saw on TV you don't got to pay rent. And we had an owner finance guy backed up. But my point is,
you're being dramatic.
I'm not. Like, all of that stuff happens, and that's fine. But that 1 month, we unloaded all of our properties.
Well, I understand how good COVID was for real estate. I'm not even talking about that. It's irrelevant to what I'm saying. At that time period,
that doesn't matter. Here is what matters.
No, I was trying to make the point before you started in the middle of my conversation. This right here, that lull was the last lull we went through. True or false?
True.
They dumped PPP in your lap. They dumped PPP in our lap. They dumped. They gave you the opportunity for EIDL, which then they staged it up and paid you more and more, and all that. All of that happened. True, real estate lit back on fire. True, real estate might light back on fire right now. But in the intern, in the squeeze period that we're in right now, where did everybody get their liquidity from? A PPP loan. Can they get a PPP loan right now?
Nope.
So what are they doing? Turning off marketing. Their skill set is, bang, where are they going for liquidity at?
I guess going back to their jobs.
If they were smart, they would go back to their jobs. They're now prying it out of their following. They're now prying that liquidity out of their following. They're ratcheting it up. Look around. Look, sub 2s, right? You've done them.
Yeah.
I've done them.
Yeah.
The
marketing's getting hot and heavy right now. Seen a lot of sub 2 mentions.
Well, look, sub 2 is probably good. All the little shit that they had going on. Everybody has enough equity to sell. Is a problem with sub 2 right now. Anybody that would be willing to sell would have enough equity to sell, but now that they're in a bind and it won't sell as fast, there is an opportunity. But you're having to catch up mortgages that haven't been paid in 2 years most of the time. So is it viable? Is it a viable option for the person with no money and no credit to go buy a sub 2 that they have to catch up a mortgage $40,000?
I don't think it is.
But it's
that's
everybody's brushing up on their sub 2. They're getting ready.
I mean, they talk a lot of stuff about sub 2s, and they don't talk about the stuff that matters, like what happens when the person you have a power of attorney with dies.
Your power of attorney's dead. Insurance claims, very difficult to land. If you owner finance and wrap them, which we have those in our portfolio, come with their own set of challenges. If you do get an insurance check, you got a bunch of people that have to sign off on it. All has its own set of challenges, every bit of it. But in this new economy, there's no PPP, there's no EIDL, and so you've got to lean into your skill set, sales training. What does sales training tell you to do, Braxton?
It's your asset in any economy if you can close a deal.
Yeah, but you gotta sell something.
Yeah, you've got to create value. You've got to show someone why that improves their circumstances in one way or another.
So you got to have somebody that can sell something whenever that lead, when you're not getting 40 leads per property, per deal you're trying to sell, you got to be able to close the one. Did y'all see my reply to Chris in Teams the other day?
I don't think so.
The guy that he's like, hey, it's more work than what he wanted. And I was like, all right, great. Agree with him. I understand. But here's some reality. You're getting 2,000 square foot of house for X number of dollars a square foot. You cannot build that or replace it for that. And we're not even bringing in the fact that there's an acre of land. So you got the acre of land, you got this. He comes back. He's like, yeah, but I'm going to have to put in X number of dollars. And he goes, great. I'm with you. And then you'll be at this price per square foot, and you cannot build that or replace it for that. And as soon as that guy realized that, he's back on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Chris is going to land that deal because he has sales training. He understands the power of agreement, and then he can overcome the objection with the skill set of understanding replacement costs that is very tangible, very, very tangible. It's a very real thing. You're in the marketplace for this. You want this school district. This is the only thing at that price point. And even if you end up with X number of dollars in it, you can't go recreate this asset. I see it. I don't know what your social media feed looks like, but I see people prying money out of their following right and left. Spoon, what's our strategy?
Our strategy to make money?
Right now.
What are we doing? More houses. We do more deals.
We're not. Are we buying houses right now, Braxton?
No.
There we go. All right. What's our real strategy, Spoon?
I don't know then.
What spot showed up on our board that's never been there before that's now full of stuff?
Wholesaling.
Oh, there it is. Spoon's like,
you still brought in more contracts.
We never stop marketing.
I understand that.
I will spend my last dollar on marketing. When I turn my marketing off is whenever they throw dirt on my chest. That's when my marketing is getting turned off. I would borrow money to market in this economy if I was that broke. I would go fucking in debt to send more postcards. But we will be turning our friends and family into landlords. Are you going to turn your friends and family into landlords?
Yeah, I'm turning myself into landlords. Why wouldn't I help other people?
We're going to turn our friends and family into landlords. We're going to do that by assigning them contracts and getting them on board with it. Braxton, you got any friends and family that want to be landlords?
Probably.
So we're going to assign them some contracts. And we're going to keep our transactional revenue coming in so we can keep our DSCR up. You know what that means, Spoon?
Debt service to coverage ratio.
Yes, come globally, so we can stay lendable. We can get another good tax return that we can leverage all next year long. And as long as banks stay lending, we're going to buy, put tenants in. Everything that we're buying is probably going to end up with a tenant in their place, and we're going to refinance it. And we're just going to continue to buy, put tenants in, and refinance, and do wholesaling to our friends and family with good credit. What's minimum credit score? If a friend came to you and said, "Hey, I want to be a landlord. I want to build wealth," what would
Probably
you say?
680.
Minimum 680. What would you say?
620.
Oh, damn.
Well, you're an actual lender, so
Non-QM product.
you know better than I do.
We can't do
But going
QM on most of our
But
stuff.
if they were going to a bank, it's going to be 680, 700.
Are you going to introduce your friends and family to your bankers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to introduce your friends and family to your bankers?
I'll loan them the money.
I mean, that helps the bank. It helps our relationship because we're bringing more money in. Like, it can't hurt you at all.
And just continue to push into the marketplace.
Like, Corey loaned a bank out of money. He took so many people to a bank.
That's my bad.
But it's all come back around, is my point. Like, that can't hurt him. Like, that can't hurt to give more business to the bank.
No, it can't. But we're going to not force, that's the wrong word. Everybody that comes to us that wants to learn about real estate, we're not going to be teaching them wholesaling.
No.
Look, you're a capable human making $200,000 a year as a household. You're just keep working your job. That money that you got that's sitting idle, let's put it to work in some real estate. We'll get you a hard money loan. We'll help you with the process, and maybe you can flip it, but don't anticipate it. You know what I mean? Just anticipate putting a tenant in there, letting them buy that asset, and then when the market heats back up, you're going to have inventory. What are we going to do with our little Cleveland property you just kicked Meemaw out of today?
Wasn't Meemaw. It's a young lady. Young lady. I tried to put my Meemaw in there. You're like, no, she's not rich enough.
No, he said you should put Meemaw in there, and you said no, she's too rich for that.
That's what
I did not say that.
You said she likes her luxury apartment with pools and pickleball and this and that.
Yeah, same amount of money.
Yeah, so I didn't. No.
So
what are you gonna
tell
do
us
with
about your apartment. What amenities does it have?
No. Hold on, stop. What are you gonna do with your shit box in Cleveland? You kicked a little old lady out of.
We're gonna list it
for how much?
185.
185. What'd you buy it for?
Oh, I don't remember that. It's like,
I think we bought it for 80.
Yeah, it was. I think we bought 80. I think it was 70 or 75. It was a weird deal, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a weird deal that wouldn't sell.
And it was my one. I helped this guy learn how to do bandit signs and everything, and he became my only competitor out there. The dude was brilliant at putting out bandit signs. And I bought a deal from him, old Austin.
Austin.
You never met Austin. He was there. He still got bandit signs up all over the place out there, and he quit because it got too hard.
What got too hard?
I don't know. That was the only deal he could get across because we bought it.
You don't Yankees
bandit signs when
you see him?
That was it.
We bought that wholesale?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't one of our leads.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Case in point right here. We buy that deal. So we owned one. We took one sub two in that same neighborhood, one street over. We owner financed it. I think we owner financed that one. I honestly think it might have been 100,000, but I really think it was around 80 because the lady owed in the 50s on it. So we took one sub two that owed in the $50,000 range, and I want to say we owner financed it for 80. And now that's a $240,000 neighborhood. And if we'd have just owned that real estate, if we just put a tenant in there the day we took that thing sub two, we'd have been all right. The problem was we had to get the capital back out of it that we used to catch the mortgage up. So we used $10,000 to catch the mortgage up or whatever it was and get it closed. And then we didn't have a revenue stream to recreate the 10 because we weren't wholesaling. We did a few flips and we were trying to hold on to everything. And so we owner financed it to get the down payment to get our liquidity back. Smart money now says, hey, when you do that deal, you put a tenant in place and ride it for 10 years and see what happens. You know what I mean? It would have made money with a tenant in place. It would have rented for $1,000 a month the day we bought it. And it would be rented for $1,500 to $1,800 a month today. Just simple facts. A deal we couldn't sell for, what did we list that thing for? We bought it borrowed 80, but I think we listed it for like
130, 125, 130, somewhere in there. And it because of the house next door, it had the numbers. And we, even the hard, or no, that one wasn't it.
We couldn't get it sold.
We bought that one hard money too.
Yeah, we did. We bought it with InvestMark, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they looked at it. The comps looked good. Everybody, we were all wrong on that one. Like it just wouldn't sell for what we thought it would.
Look, if it sells for 185 right now, that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hit a lick, little licky, little small lick, little $100,000, no biggie. Rex, can you use 100 in your life right now?
I just pay taxes on it.
Yeah, we hit a little licky. But if it, let's say in a month and a half, it ain't got no showings, or a month it ain't got no showings, what are you gonna do?
Put a 10 in it.
How much?
1,500.
Ooh,
$1,800.
Oh. Oh. Somebody's giving away cheap rent, man.
I don't. Well,
We're gonna rent.
what do you
no.
think that's?
1,500, 1,800.
I mean,
we'll try 1,800
that condition.
But
Like, if we don't got to do no make readies, it's still 1,600.
yeah, we'll have to
Put
do
out there
a
as
little
make an offer
Yeah.
What?
for the rent.
Do you just say stuff out loud sometimes? You're like, this is going to make sense.
Just see
It
what they
made
want to pay.
sense.
It didn't.
It
'Cause
did make sense.
What if they say $2,000
Yeah.
and you're over there at 1,800? Who's
Yeah.
the idiot
Is that
now?
how you do all yours? You just like make an offer?
me
This
what
is
you-
all your rentals. Make an offer.
Tell me what you'll pay.
The buy now price.
I gave you my buy it now price. I would have bought it the other day.
Listen.
You could have put $60,000 in your pocket.
No, you're trying to do my kids dirty now. I can't. Have you seen Biggins? He eats whole 12-ounce ribeyes.
That kid, he tried to eat my dog yesterday. He chased down a lady in the yard and was fixing to eat her. He did ride her, I think. He had his little cowboy hat on. He's like, wee!
Woody.
Yeah, Biggins. He's a good boy. He got bit by those ants, by the way.
Oh, in the chair?
Yeah, you know what he said?
Ow.
Check it out. He getting bit by ants. He goes, "Ow, mommy, it itchy. Ow, mama, it itchy. Mommy, it itchy." Could your 2-year-old get bit by ants and not cry? I don't know, man.
The little ones. Like, I found Mav getting stung by a yellow jacket on his foot one day. He's like, Daddy, why this bug's wings hurt? He couldn't process what was happening. This yellow jacket is just stabbing him on the foot. He's like, this bug's wings sharp, Daddy.
Here we go.
I like it.
Here we go.
Oh man,
I've never photoshopped anything in my life.
that makes it even better, bro. That's the
This is-
best.
This is going to be the best meme ever.
So that looks amazing.
So
That's
you
what
did
makes
so
it look
good.
great. I like the pink around my. It looks like
I
I've
didn't
got-
have many photos to work with.
No, this
so.
is perfect.
I heard the camera go off, and now we've got
That's
it
from
going
last
on.
week. Different.
No, that's from today. Maybe not. Maybe not. You got a little more facial hair
You got my good side.
in today's. So, I really think the market's turned, Spoonie. I think some people are going to get flushed out of this marketplace. Braxton, what do you think the opportunity is going to be?
I don't know. I mean, we're just kind of in a weird spot because we're still able to assign stuff because the people we're assigning to's goals are different. So we're still able to transact. But, I mean, flip inventory, like we talked about earlier, got one under contract.
Yeah, flip inventory is turning into rental and owner finance inventory.
Do you think other people have the same ability to wholesale?
It depends on their buyers.
Because I know, like, the reason I'm asking that, I think a lot of, like, when I got started, I wanted to be a wholesaler because according to the podcast I watched back then, it was the quickest, fastest, easiest way to make money.
Do that
with
while you say
little
that.
to no investment. That's basically what it was. It was more like this, but I love this meme. I don't know where it's going, but if you don't have the contacts to sell to somebody, how do you make money being a wholesaler?
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. Here's why I think we got an apologetic wholesaler on the interwebs today as well. One, it's good copyright. It's touching some feelings. It's making, you know what I mean? Everybody's been a piece of shit at one point in their life, and they're like, "Oh, I was a piece of shit too. I can turn my life around." So it's a little
I was
inspirational.
in college for 5 years. It's definitely a piece of shit.
Yeah, but I think it's also a thing where what do you think's happened over the last year? Let's say you're my wholesaler. You're my wholesaler.
Well, I think we're going to the same place, so I want to hear your.
Yeah, you're
thesis.
my wholesaler, and I'm buying deals from you, and I bought deals from you from I'm your day one cash buyer, and you wholesale me deals, and there's equity on the deal. It works for you. It works for me. We're doing business, and then the market heats up. Now you're still a good enough lead gen operator that you're still getting leads, but now you're like, the price of poker's going up, Corey, and I'm like, all right, but I've been buying from you all this time. You're like, yeah, I understand, but the price of poker's going up. I gotta make the lion's share of the money now, because I'm these leads are real rare, and I got a system that's dialed in, and other people will pay me more. So you kind of burn me down as a consistent buyer. Now maybe the hedge funds I thought were a myth. I never thought they existed, but apparently they did. Now they're outbidding me, and you're selling to them. And now they're out of the marketplace. I'm still in the marketplace. You come back. You think we're going to do business?
I mean, if we are, it ain't gonna be for the same. It ain't gonna be the same game.
It's gonna be ugly.
So that's what I was getting at too. That's where I was going with that question, because we both had that. We're buying from somebody and we're just consistently. One of the biggest annoyances in my world is somebody like, hey man, we've both seen it on multiple deals.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, I got an assignment. It's $85,000. This is under contract for $75,000, and we're like, we'll take it. And they're like, hey, I've got a couple more offers at $95,000 now. So what's your best offer? And I'm like, my best offer is don't call me again. Legit. Like, I won't bid against those guys because I don't even know if it's a real offer. Like,
yeah, you got a daisy on the line, and
yeah.
We're a buyer. We're a buyer.
You gave me your price. I said yes. You said, you know what? I'm thinking again. We got to raise the price.
Yeah.
That poker don't work with me.
I mean, and I think those people have probably burned a lot of good relationships, doing it in that manner. You know what I mean? Where I really believe, we haven't wholesaled a bunch. I do see a bunch of interesting things. I see guys like Logan Bentley Fulmer getting into wholesaling in the last year and a half, doing these big massive deals, and I love the big massive deals. I think liquidity is key. I don't know. I think having that broad of a skill set that he has, where he can get a deep deal, a deep discount. I think he's got a broad skill set. I think he's rolling heavy with cash.
Yeah, I
think he's got a leg up on everybody in the fucking marketplace when it comes to that.
Well, he pulled $1 million wholesale the other day. Was that right, or 800,000 or some crazy number?
I don't know. I mean, he was talking to me about a 2.5 million on my podcast.
Like, that's unfathomable to most of us to make in a paper transaction.
Yes,
but he also has liquidity, I believe, to take that down.
He
had to.
He does.
And that's the only reason. I mean, not the only reason. If you've ever been around Logan, I went to his classes. I would pay to go to any of the other ones that he does, like, because you always come out with more than you spent on that thing as far as knowledge. But the ability to make that transaction and make that $2.5 million wholesale is because you have the ability to close on it.
I do agree, but he did close on it. They closed on it cash, so you're calling it a wholesale, but it's really a wholesale. He owned it. Closed on it cash, $1.2 million, I think, and then sold it for, maybe $600,000. Maybe he bought it for $600,000. I don't remember. It's on the podcast. It's on the YouTube channel. Go find it. Anyways, and then he sold it, and he made $2.5 million or 1.9 or whatever it was after closing costs. No big deal. Great deal. You know what I mean? Does good. And he does multiple of those a year. Those big, high margin, big deals like that. If you're plugged into the right network and you got the liquidity to sustain it, you can do those sorts of things. I look at our big deals. We're signing some land to you. I think that's going to be a good deal for you. We got a 16-unit apartment complex. We're actually closing on it on Thursday. It's the exact same thing.
And we're closing on mine Friday.
We are closing on Friday?
Well, depends. There's some title stuff they're working out still.
Oh. What's on the title?
Like a divorce decree and a death or something.
God damn it.
So,
anyways.
Not.
All I saw earlier was they needed the survey to reflect the easements earlier. So
talked to Kitty this morning.
I didn't catch that.
That came up. So they're working on that.
All right. Whatever's going on there. Neither here nor there. All that being said, we're making some pretty big wholesale fees this month. It'll make the rest of our year. Like,
for sure.
Like this, we'll pull in all of when our board clears in assignments. It'll make the rest of our year. It'll actually be more money in the last quarter than we made in the third quarter for sure. And then as we track down more buyers with good credit that are bankable and introduce them to our banks and turn them into landlords.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when we explain to these new folks that they're $300K park, that they can own a 10-unit apartment complex, that we can help them source now. I don't think people realize they can do that. I don't think my parents, for one, would have understood that they could go buy a Wortham until I explained the numbers to them, and we talk that whole thing out. Like, that's not in most people's lexicon. They think $300K, I can go buy a rent house or two, and I'll park my cash there, and I'll just have these 200% cash owned properties that are cash flowing. To me, that's not the kind of cash flow I want. I want it, one, leveraged, but two, I want more doors.
We just covered this. We covered this in the last podcast, man.
Well,
you should go watch it.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to drive that point home.
Do you know who Dave Ramsey is?
I do.
Are you a big believer in Dave Ramsey?
No.
You hate Dave Ramsey?
No, he helped us a lot when we were having problems.
Who's us?
Me and my wife.
Okay, so you were you gambling away y'all's money? What were you doing with the money?
No, I was just living off credit cards and stuff.
Okay,
he helped us. We used the little debt snowball to get our stuff paid down, and then we charged our credit cards back up. So it works in theory if you have the willpower to do that, but paying yourself and paying your groceries out of an envelope didn't work for us.
What's a dead snowball?
Yeah, what's a dead 8-ball?
Oh, an 8-ball. We
dead
can talk
speedball.
Oh, speedballs. We're getting into John Belushi territory there, right? Or Jim Belushi.
What is it?
Excuse me. A speedball?
No,
That's a little bit of heroin, a little bit of coke. Like
a debt speedball?
Debt snowball is you basically spreadsheet all your debt out. You pick one.
Time out. How much did you pay to figure this out?
I didn't pay nothing. It was a $29 book. You buy his book.
Okay, so you paid $29.
Whatever that is.
What a reference.
It was the $29 book he had, or $10 book, whatever
Okay.
it cost at Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
All
Now what does it do? So you spreadsheet it out.
Yeah, you just pay off one, then you put all that money that you were paying from that bill onto the next one, and then you take those. So you have to keep allocating that money every month, and you grow your amount that you can pay down until you get it all paid off. That's about the only thing I took out of it. What I see is tragic.
You know what I owe on my credit card?
Nothing.
No, $247.
That's bad
nice.
If you want to build your credit. 30%.
Yeah, I keep mine right at about 30%, but
It's got a $300 limit, bro.
so
Keep to $100 per
what I
statement.
super disagree with Dave Ramsey, and I think a lot of people have found, they've been saving their whole lives. They read his books 5 years ago, and they're like, "Oh, I'm all in cash. I'm keeping all my cash," and everything just appreciated, doubled in value, right? Mm-hmm. And now they can't buy the house they wanted.
So let's pull up a little Dave Ramsey. See if we can educate Spoon right quick.
Well, first we'll ask. So he does own some real estate. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I saw you the $600 million, but I'm not talking about him.
When
I'm
did
talking
you
about,
see it?
I'm talking about. I was sitting out there watching it in
Your
the green
fucking
room.
cheat sheet. We
So
said we
you
talked
don't
about
need
this
to-
on the podcast, and you already seen it.
Yeah, I watched it in
That's
the
all
green
you
room.
had to say when we said we saw.
I know it's more fun to watch you try to prove me wrong about stuff. Like
There's no proving wrong.
I saw all of that. All I'm saying is I don't think it matters what he owns. I'm talking about the normal person. The
normal person. Listen to this. Let's go back to 10 minutes.
He's
Right
on
at
there
10
with
minutes.
Graham Stevens.
We don't know who that is.
That's Graham Stevens.
It's a nice lady.
His picture's right there. He has a huge YouTube channel.
He's a nice lady. You quit being mean to him.
I get that your Maddie has more subs than you, but
He has all the subs. Corey has 4. That
Yeah.
dude has 1 million or
Look,
12.
Quit being mean to him. You know what I mean? Like
Dave Ramsey's.
he's looking good these days.
Yeah.
You did when I was 18 years old. I sold, bought a lot of real estate, went broke
He's
in the
got that
business,
Dr.
started buying
Phil
again.
kind
I've got, I don't know,
Watch.
probably $600 million worth right now.
So
Something like that
casual.
paid for.
All right.
600 million.
So I love real estate. My portfolio is way out of balance.
All right.
On it.
Let's. So, would you ever thought that Dave Ramsey owed $600 million worth of real estate,
No.
paying all cash?
No.
He took that $29 you paid him, and he shoved it right into some commercial real
Yeah, it's
estate.
good for him.
but you didn't pay anything for the book, I thought.
He was trying to get at, did I pay for a class with Dave Ramsey?
okay.
So you can play your semantics over there. But that's what he was getting at.
I don't care where Dave gets his money. Look at what he does with it.
I mean, we know what you do, Braxton.
No, Jason, I mean, if we want to talk about the fact that you lied on the podcast, we have it on record.
I don't
so
care.
it could be
You can
semantic or not, but
Call it whatever you want.
it was a lie.
I mean, can we get a playback of Jason saying he didn't
Yes,
pay
let's
him
go
nothing, but
It's
then he
the-
paid
Hey,
him
what was that? It's
grinding my feet on people's couch?
couch.
Just
Can we
good
play
things.
that?
Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch.
I don't think we can play that on here. We'll get a Comedy Central strike.
We might, but
That's funny though.
What is it?
Fuck your couch.
it's
Oh,
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's true Hollywood stories. It's whenever Rick James says,
I didn't do that. Yeah, did it?
"Yeah, I didn't. What do I look like trying to grind my feet on people's couch?" Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch.
Fuck your couch, nigga. Buy another one, you rich motherfucker. Fuck your couch, nigga.
No, it's not that. It's the long version. But I mean, that's the part.
I mean, you went straight to the hot take.
It's
There's a little part of that.
Rick James tonight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here he comes out.
Right in there, right in there.
I look at him, and I'm not.
Right in there.
Whip his ass, whip his ass, whip
No,
his
it's good.
ass.
Keep going.
A little bit further because after their fight.
Yeah, it's after fight.
Whoa, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah, hold it.
But then,
Fast forward.
Fuck.
It's going to be after he grinds his feet on his couch.
So he had these
Checking it all out.
Right there.
brand new couches. They were suede, right? And he gets on the couch and says,
Why don't I stretch out?
and just started grinding
God
mud on
damn.
his
Now, Braxton never seen this.
Grinding
Grinding
my feet
mud.
on his couch.
You remember why you did it?
Because Eddie could buy another one. Fuck your couch, nigga. Buy another one, you rich motherfucker.
I remember it.
Fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your couch. Darkness is.
Because of my complexion, he used to
Oh,
call
that's
me
right.
Darkness. He calls me and my brother
The
Darkness.
darkest
So
he ever saw or whatever.
Darkness brothers. See, this is long before Wesley Snipes. Back then, we was the blackest niggas on the planet, according to Big Boy.
So, beyond the genius of
Twin
Dickie,
brother doctors.
and who would ever thought that he would have just gotten better every year?
Oh, no. I mean, Dave Chappelle he's just got an awesome view of the world, you know? You could see the world in the same light, but you're a little too woke, you know?
It's me.
I
I don't believe in grinding your feet on people's couches.
Well, you don't believe in joking, you know? It's like if we
I
say,
just like to be this. I like to be the straight man in the conversation. It's fun.
Yeah, like-
it's fun to fuck with you, Corey, because you're like,
well, you can't
come
say
on, it was a joke, and I'm like, huh?
you can't say a gay joke around Spoon because it hurts his feminine side.
I mean, or my side where I like to be nice to people.
No, we're not being mean. We're not being mean.
I mean,
In an essence, the joke is not
Is it?
meant to be mean.
Yeah.
then tell us a gay joke, Braxton.
D-gay.
He does go by that.
Is that not a good one?
And see, also, if I were to make a joke at that point, like you're trying to bait me into doing it because
Yeah,
you're trying to prove a point that it's
well, no, you're trying to prove a
truck
point.
does Jason drive?
a Chevrolet gay.
A Chevrolet gay. You see?
I'm just
see,
glad.
that's just
I'm just
the
glad.
joke.
No, that's the funny part. Is when this comes up during this presidential run. I can't wait.
It's because that's the thing. It's a fun banter between jokes, like just how people always say Fords are always under repair or whatever, always
yeah.
broke down. That's
Always
why the
broke
new
down.
ones, the seat goes all the way back.
Found on road dead.
Yeah,
So
or
homosexuals drive Chevrolets? Is that?
yeah.
I guess so.
They could if they want to.
And Jason drives one. So now look, you can lean in and embrace it and be like, look, I would put a penis in my mouth. I enjoy the taste. I enjoy the flavor, the essence
I feel
of a wiener in my mouth.
I feel like
I
you're
like
so
it.
good at leaning in. You should lean into that.
I will. Like if somebody tried to
There it is,
tried to
folks.
roast
He
me-
will literally take a penis in his mouth, and he's ready for that.
Oh, see? Pull up the Chevy Colorado. Not
Just
the
the truck?
no. It's called Chevy Colorado.
What's that
So
dude's
a
name?
video?
Yes. But it's Colorado. There it is.
Yeah, the parody, Amiri
down
King.
that one. Let's watch this.
He's still doing the same act.
No, this ain't. This is the best video of that year.
Just working out on it. What year is that truck?
Who knows?
Don't even. Dang.
Let me tell you something about this Chevy Colorado. Chevy Colorado might be small, but at least it's not a goddamn Ford. How do I know it outperforms any Ford on the market? Well, dick suckers don't drive it. The Chevy Colorado's small, but it's room.
He laughed.
Comes with a crew cab. Enough room in there to fit a murder weapon. Not in the glove box, in my fucking pants. The Chevy Colorado has tons of room. Me and four of my
Colorado.
buddies got head from your sister right there, while your dad watched from a Ford. What separates
Ford.
Chevy drivers from Ford drivers? Well, it's simple. It's the size of our dicks. Knock, knock. Who's there? Ford.
That's the joke.
That's the joke. Why is it every time I see a Ford, it's lifted? Well, the answer's simple. When a man gets out of his Ford, you don't want to get his dress dirty. Colorado comes with a lifetime guarantee. Guarantee you're not going to be a faggot for life.
Oh
These are
my
funny.
God! Spoon, did you hear that
Chevy
word?
owners titty
I
fuck
did,
tit.
and I didn't
Ford
laugh.
owners,
Did
they
you?
titty fuck nutsacks. Little kids' ass cracks. Chevy engines come
a
standard.
little rough.
Dick slap to the face. Let's take a look under the hood. All we got to do is press this button. Well, this pipe here is made out of pure white gold. It transfers the hurricane to the tornado dispenser. Not only does it have an air pressure regulator, but it also doubles as a cock ring. Colorados are perfect for nights out with your mother. I don't know if you know this or not. Colorado rhymes with swallow. Gay ho. Real men drive Colorado. I heard Ford Rangers are real popular with females. Any female drives a Ranger, they got mud pies in their pussy. If you want to check out additional footage of the Chevy Colorado, go to www.ifuckedyourmomlastsaturday.com. The other day I seen a Ford owner leaving Walmart. I had to stop and flag him down. Left his purse on the hood. He apologized, said he's in a big hurry. Heading to Gatlinburg. A lot. Chevys are brought to you by hard work, dirty jeans, and MMA events. Fords are brought to you by cut-off jean shorts, unscuffed construction boots, and your local gay club. Colorados are so durable they don't lose their resale value. Engine runs fine, might have some cosmetic problems, but girls are always grinding their pussies on it. Difficult thing about driving a Ford is the hardship and turmoil, having to tell your family you're gay. But drive a Ford, they already know you're gay. Ford and Chevy owners are different. Chevy owners are rugged, durable, bulletproof. Ford owners, they get in fights at the club. They see a girl wearing the same dress. Last time I seen a Ford jump something, it landed on a dick.
The last time I seen a Ford jump something.
Try that in a Ford.
This is basically the opposite of what Braxton was saying.
I drive a Chevy.
It don't matter,
day.
Jason. That's the whole point about trucks.
Gay.
Now, hold on. Stop. I want to make a point. Search Amari King gets new truck. Search that name right there, gets new truck. Here's the difference, Spoon. Here's the difference between what year? How many years ago is this?
7, 8.
Yeah, 7, 8 years ago. That guy put that video on the internet, okay, and a dealership gave him a new truck. Go. It's that top one right there. Gave him a new truck. Gifted him a new truck.
We're stuck in traffic in the small town of Versailles.
So,
where the very
you can
famous
fast forward till he
sensation
sees it and he
Emery
cries
King
and
lives.
Chevys are strong.
And he has this whole comedy bit up.
Ooh, it's your ribeye, not like your traditional bone-in big cowboy.
So he's got.
There's no way.
Gets it right there. Rolls right up. And his old truck gets a brand new one.
I made it. I'm here. I did it. Here it is. Is this me? This is mine? Yeah. You gotta be kidding me, dude. I love it.
So,
I never thought I'd have a new Silverado. Crossroads Chevrolet in Lake Country, Muskogee. New Silverado. Love it, man. It's great.
I mean, they got the money's worth out of that advertisement, though.
Hold on, you're missing the point.
What?
Bro, he said the F word that you said we're not allowed to say at the office on the video.
Yeah, it's very, very negative.
And they gave him a new truck. This was back when comedy was comedy, when you could hear a joke and laugh and be like, oh, okay, that was funny. I'm not disparaging anybody. I'm laughing.
It seems like...
Because it's funny. Like Braxton in her dress, when he said that he left his purse on the hood of his... Like, could you imagine Braxton with his 37s and this guy chasing him down and being like, hey, bro, you left your purse?
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Why do you drive a lifted truck?
So I don't get my dress dirty.
So you don't get his dress dirty and you see Braxton in her dress and you're funny? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man.
Objectively, that's funny.
That's funny.
Because there's no ill intent. It's just funny.
It's just funny. It's called comedy.
Here's my question. How many podcasts have y'all talked about this exact subject on?
No, but you heard the N-word earlier, and you were giggling like a little girl.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's funny.
Because Dave Chappelle's funny, but you hear the G word or the F word, he gets a free truck, and you're like, oh, that's disparaging humans.
I mean, it seems like the more you talk about it, the more you're trying to sell me on something. Because I'm not disagreeing with you. I didn't say it wasn't funny. And what is funny... that I find really funny about Amari King is he's still doing the exact same character bits every day on TikTok.
Oh, he's been canceled.
He's all over TikTok unless he's been canceled
on his third TikTok.
Yeah,
the guy got canceled. He's still got his YouTube channel. He got banned off of Facebook. He still got a Twitter, but Facebook was where he got his big following.
Why did he get banned?
Election? No, I don't think it was. Maybe COVID. No, I don't even think he made COVID. I don't remember.
Well,
I don't.
For
remember
$10, you can get him to do a shout out on Cameo.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying
we should get that.
I'm not saying he's a
for
he's
the
a
podcast.
He's a good human.
I'm
not
seem like a
saying
bad
any
human.
of that. I am saying the difference in the political atmosphere right now is 8 years ago he did that bit with the word that hurts your soul in it, and a Chevy dealership stepped up and gave him a free truck.
Yep.
So what did he do?
I'm not sure what point you proved to me.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
No, he really did. He would get every time he would get banned when he'd go live. But I mean, his life's a shit show.
It is.
It's a shit show.
With a bit of
He was
bad
on there
news.
posting about having to go to court the other day.
I don't know where to begin or how to say.
I mean, this is
but
all spoof shit.
I've been diagnosed with a very rare condition. Today I talked to my doctor at 3 p.m.
I feel like
and they
he's like
advanced
a different version of Andrew Dice Clay.
No, he's just got a broke mindset. He's just got a broke mindset. Like at the beginning of internet, not fandom or but like influencer culture at the very beginning. Emery King would probably be what Braxton's generation would call an influencer.
Do you remember the first video you saw on YouTube?
Yeah.
What was it?
Monkey Fucks. And then Kimbo Slice. It's called Monkey Balls.
Mine was the SNL.
Monkey Balls. That one right there.
All right. Pure quality.
Look at that. That's some good yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can tell. Okay, come on. Give me a little slight. Let me just. Yeah, you mind? Oh, my. Shit, that's some tight-ass monkey pussy. Give me that monkey pussy. You like that monkey cock.
Wow.
Hold on, baby. Hold on to this monkey cock. Take out. Goddamn. Who the fuck be playing my monkey balls?
Aren't you glad you're part of this, Braxton?
I'm just confused
So that was that was the first video I remember actually being on YouTube, because we had a link that we could send around, and then go Kimbo Slice, Kimbo versus Bird.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you my first video here in a minute.
I watched that one.
That was a brutal fight.
Bird, no, it's the one down that's blurred. It's that one. He knocks this guy's eye out.
Well,
in the backyard.
Yeah, I don't know if we can show that.
We'll skip to mine. Lazy Sunday, SNL. It was the first big hit on YouTube. I was in Iraq working when this thing came out, and we're like, "What the fuck is this website?"
This is 2013.
It's the first one I saw.
In 2013?
It was before that. This is just when this one was came. This version. That would have been 2005.
No, this was like 2010, something like that.
It's the first thing.
Yeah, so your YouTube was way later than ours. I had YouTube on the original iPhone. The very first iPhone, it came out in 2007. Is that right?
Yeah.
Came out June 29th, 2007. I bought it. It had the YouTube app on it whenever you bought it, and would watch all this stuff. So, Woody. Woody is another one.
Spell that for me, Corey.
WOOTY. It is E-Dub Woody is the song.
Yeah.
But that's not the video that made it famous.
Lazy Sunday, released December 17th, 2005.
No way.
Yeah. We were in Iraq when it hit. I was there 0506.
So keep going down. You'll know.
It was the first big hit on YouTube.
It might have been the first big hit, but it wasn't that one, probably, because it's blurred out. I mean, it really is a good. I mean, and it was nothing. I mean, it was nothing, but it would get sent around on email. Everybody would would email it. I mean, that's how
meat spin.
That's how it would travel. Yep, this is it. The old tramp step, and it was on MySpace.
That's definitely something that dates you. The old tramp stamp.
The old tramp stamp, but I mean, I don't. How many? That's a 2009 upload. It doesn't seem like that's the original, but it may have been. But nah, it came out way before then. This is just the Vivo version.
Classy.
I mean, it just is what it is. It's just a lady flexing her butt cheeks to the rhythm of this song that made that song famous. That song, without this video, that song would have never done anything.
Yeah, a lot,
and it's not there.
It's also way pre-twerk culture, so this is pretty innovative.
Yeah, when she sits down on the ground, you'll see it. I mean, this might have been the first time twerking was invented. No, it's over to the right. Yeah, right there. That's it. That little segment right there. Which, if you had never been to a strip club, you'd seen that. But if you hadn't, you didn't know that existed until it got put on the internet on this video.
That probably changed a lot of young men's lives.
I mean, you have to go to a pretty good strip club back in the day to see that, because there was where did women learn how to do that before YouTube, Twitter, TikTok? Before videos were out, like you just got a lady, and she's like, I want to dance sexy for my husband. Where do I go to learn that? And they're like, I don't know.
I don't think I want my wife going to that class. I don't know what that is.
Maybe not. I'm just saying, like you don't realize how much you take for granted these days, Spoonie. In Braxton's generation, in your generation, the whole entire generation can learn how to dance any way they want to learn how, whether it's country and western or twerking. They can learn it. Back in the day, if you want to learn how to dance, where'd you have to go?
Somewhere where you dance.
Yeah, and nobody danced like that except for one place. And I don't know where they. I mean, think about a stripper guru in 2011 or no 2007.
I wonder if that's a thing. Is there a stripper guru?
They do. They teach pole dancing.
Yeah,
they have pole dancing classes.
That's for like housewives and stuff. They want to spice up their
that
stuff.
stuff did not exist in 2000.
I get that, but is there like somebody like when you're wanting to up your game as a stripper that you go to and they're like, no, I'm going to teach you the new moves?
Yes, and the internet made it possible because before you would just have to be at the strip club. It's like car sales. Like
is strippers still a thing in the Only Grands, era?
Yes. Can you touch a titty on OnlyFans?
I don't know.
What can you do on OnlyFans?
I don't know. I've never been on it. Like, I just know it's a thing. It's got naked people.
You just brought it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
Braxton, what do you know
I know
about
it's naked
OnlyFans?
people. I've never been on it.
Braxton don't know anything about it. What do you?
Never been on OnlyFans. I don't know.
Well, then how you brought it up?
Yeah, I brought it up. I'm just saying. I know they're like basically stripping on their internet camera, but is stripping in a club still a deal?
Spoon, can you touch a titty on the OnlyFans?
No.
So what do you think?
Can you touch one in a strip club?
Yes. You can do anything you want in a strip club for the right amount of money.
I did not know that.
You're sitting here acting what? Why are you trying to pretend like you don't know what happens inside a strip club?
I just like messing with you.
Yeah, dude, a strip club will always be a thing. It's a logical progression of life. Now, the true
Braxton,
entrepreneurs
don't go to the champagne room. Don't do it.
The true entrepreneurs.
I don't know what that is. I don't want to.
The true entrepreneurs and business people of the stripping community will get an OnlyFans, and that's known as scale. That's like the online course. You know what I mean? But they're still going to go work in person because they got to stay sharp. You know what I mean? They got to stay up on what the people like to see. It's a funnel. They get you there, they sit on your lap, and they get you to subscribe right there. So instead of making $20 once, they make $20 every month for the rest of your life because you forget to cancel the subscription. You know what I mean? It's a subscription-based service.
Did it happen to you?
You don't want to let charity down.
I haven't. But when we went to the strip club in Key West, Braxton didn't go. But when we went to the strip club in Key They.
I see some sadness
I told
in
the
his eyes
strippers.
right now. Are you sad because you actually went?
No.
Or are you sad because you didn't go?
No, the first night I said no, and then the next day we were out walking around, and we ended up there, like walking by it.
I wasn't there.
He was getting a psychic to read his mind or something.
Oh,
yeah.
I did that one time.
I guess there's a couple guys. They just like, oh, let's go in. I'm like, nah.
Me,
They're like,
me
no,
and
no,
me.
no, come on. And I told the stripper I was 16. She's like, oh, we got
Well, but it's not something you can't avoid it in Key West because they're standing on the street.
They got sales training.
Yeah, they're grabbing you and dragging you in. You don't know. You don't really even know what you're going into.
Like we were just walking down the street, and they're like, oh, let's go in here.
You just think it's a bar or something. So then you get in, and you know, as soon as they open the door, the smell hits you, and you're like, oh, this ain't what I thought it was going to be.
How's the food?
That is a distinct smell.
I didn't have the food, but I did have some $8 Diet Cokes. But here's the thing: when I was there, the girls would come on. I was just like, I don't have any money. I'm sitting at the main stage, but I'm like, I don't have any money. I do not want to spend any money. And Key West, there was not an American in the building. They were Russian.
Are you talking strippers or the
strippers?
Oh,
the Cubans, Colombian. Like there was not an American employee in the building, but they were all selling their OnlyFans. They all understood.
Like they had like a QR code, like an upsell.
They did. They literally
like,
did.
Scan my QR code.
They had their what are they called? The cards that everybody uses at networking events now.
Oh, like the tap cards.
They had the tap cards. They literally would sit down, and even though you didn't have money, they knew you had Apple Pay. You got an iPhone. They would try to talk you into subscribing. They needed sales training. They could have closed a lot more deals, but no, they would.
So I feel like we just found the third iteration of Corey's Gurudom.
Sales training for strippers.
Yeah, this is sales training for strippers.
Really would be, but
like you could change an industry, Corey, and help a lot of young women become self-employed.
We went down a rabbit hole here that started with Dave Ramsey and ended on the Woody girl.
And you're pointing at her.
Yes, thanks.
I just noticed how he set those up.
My wife will be super happy about that. So he'll thank you.
This one probably won't show up on the podcast, but it will show up on my Insta.
That'll be awesome to deal with later. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you realize this part of it's going to be put on the internet, right?
Yeah, I haven't said anything that I regret. Like
my wife's going to get me in trouble.
I didn't say that.
I'm going to have to deal with this later, and she's going to be like, "Why are you saying that about me on the internet?"
It seems disrespectful. I'm pointing at a white girl's
You're not
booty.
doing anything.
No, Jason, a Photoshopped picture of your face.
I understand all this. Like I'm kind of joking. Like I'm just having some fun here. Y'all need to understand timbre of voice, and like that's TIMBRE.
Look,
like,
you just watched the F word, your most feared word, get dropped on the internet.
Yep.
In a reaction video where you laughed at a couple of gay jokes, at least 3. You were like,
yeah, it was funny. I laughed at Dave Chappelle too.
That was a little cross the line though. Cross some lines there. But this right here is going to be what ends you.
I appreciate that you guys are trying so hard to normalize those words.
I'm not trying to normalize anything. Here's
I just love fucking with you guys.
The interesting part of life, at least for me, is as I see how human beings interact. Like imagine Brandon Nemi, just his day-to-day conversation. Colby. Yeah? You can't handle it.
Like, I can.
No, you can't. You cannot handle when Colby drops his feelings right into you, and you're like, "Wow, I didn't know human beings could feel that way about other human beings." Has he told you the story?
I don't think so.
So Colby is a guy that works for Brandon, and he started his LLC. Do you know what he called it?
Uh-huh.
What is it?
Oh, I do not.
Two-tone. International.
Two-tone
International.
Oh, that makes sense.
Why?
Because he's a light-skinned dude.
It's because he's his own words. He makes fun of himself more than anybody, but his own words for it are I'm surprised he didn't name it African.
Oh my god.
Because that's
I was joking with him the other day. I was like, dude, take a selfie with me. He's like, why? It's like, so I can tell people that I met the lead singer of Counting Crows. And,
well, that's a good one.
That's a hilarious one. He's like, I don't know what that means. So I pulled up a picture of the lead singer of Counting Crows. He's like, oh,
but it's
that's
only
pretty
since
funny.
he grew his hair out. Only since he grew his hair out.
But it's the dreads that make it all make sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, it's what's the guy's name from The Simpsons?
Oh, Sideshow Bob.
Jeez. Yeah, Sideshow Bob. It's a Sideshow Bob hair. But anyways,
oh man, that's funny.
He looks identical.
He looks just like the picture on the left.
He's darker.
He's a little bit.
Yeah, but anyways,
you know what's great about this guy? Hooked up with Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox in their heyday. Friends.
That's good.
Both of them.
Yeah, no, I mean he did a lot more than that.
Yeah,
that's
but
just what you know about.
That is like high level.
Yeah, I mean, as far as womanizing goes, he did a good job at it.
What is this? It's Bob Ross and a random.
I typed in wholesome to try to save you.
Me?
Yeah, wholesome.
Why are we saving me?
Because you're pointing at something wholesome.
Oh.
There's dogs.
Like,
Bob
I
Ross.
mean, there's just an astronaut getting licked on by a puppy. Like I don't even understand.
That's wholesome. And
better than the Woody girl.
Yeah,
that is fair. That is fair. That was
all the original. You know,
it's the first time Braxton's ever seen somebody twerk.
I'm trying to think that guy, the evolution of dance guy, the evolution of dance guy that was the most viewed video on YouTube for a long time was also one that I saw. But Colby,
evolution of dance is pretty big on TikTok.
Yeah, Colby offended you. Tell Braxton.
He didn't offend me.
What happened?
I just wasn't prepared for his usage of certain. What's the right word for that?
He dropped the N-word.
Racial monikers.
He dropped the N-word in front of Spoonie, and it blew Spoon away.
Well, he said it with a certain inflection that I wasn't ready for.
Huh?
Do you not have any black friends?
I do.
Well, it's because Colby sounds country. You know what I mean? So Colby's got that real country sound, but he's half black. And so when he drops the N-word, it scared Spoon.
Yeah, I don't know if the scared's the right word.
It scared him. He was scared.
I just wasn't prepared for his inflection and usage.
It scared him. Made him a little worried. And, you know.
I was not prepared for it randomly coming up about whatever.
Can you fix your mic, Jason?
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't want this part to be on camera. So when Colby dropped it, it scared Spoon because it came out sounding real, real like, you know what I mean? Like had that long, that drawled R.
There we go.
That
it had a hard R.
It had a hard R.
And it was like emphasized. There was a lot of emphasis on it.
And
I was not ready for that.
Was he trying to force you to say it or something?
No.
So
he was just like using it in everyday speech.
So he was just talking normally and
yeah, well,
it's not the normal inflection that you hear that.
You gotta understand. Colby was joking. Colby told a joke, and the joke was probably pretty funny, no doubt. I've been around Colby when he makes everything awkward, everything, and I'm talking about everything. This is the guy you want around when it happens. So Colby told a joke. Spoon wasn't expecting it, and because Colby's black, you know what I mean? And then Spoon's sitting there. He's like, oh, shit. I can't laugh. I can't smile. I can't crack I don't know. This is a trap. I've been entrapped. Where's the camera? Started looking around for a camera.
Yeah, I don't think any of that ran through my mind. I was just not prepared for it.
Am I punked right now?
I'm getting punked. Like
I was in Mart, Texas.
He's in Mart, Texas.
Yeah, so you're at a job site.
He's at a job site.
Yeah.
Working.
It's just out of the blue. It was like, hey, that joke that our fishing guide told us out of nowhere. Like we're just fishing all day, and then random racist joke right in the middle of it.
Oh,
and we're all like,
whoa,
where the hell did that come from? Like it was. I don't know if he was sounding us out, but there was no lead.
What was the joke?
I don't remember what the joke was. It was super racist, but it was like
super racist.
It was like
oh shit.
There was zero lead up to it. It wasn't like he had been making like like a word, like he had just been perfectly normal all day, then hard racist joke, and we're all like,
whoa,
like.
But he was Mexican.
Which one?
The one with the nice boat that let Spoon drive.
Oh, he was.
I was thinking Cajun. Like he seemed Cajun to me. Like,
yeah, I don't think he was though.
His name is like it's got a lot of consonants and vowels in it.
I don't remember ever hearing anything.
His name is like Thibodeau or something.
I'm trying to think of where we were when we were fishing. You were just reeling in catfish the whole time.
I mean, because we gave up on fishing because fishing sucks so bad.
fish.
We were playing music and just singing like Sublime.
Yeah,
and fishing, and then we're at another spot and just hard racist joke, and we're
like, whoa.
All of it. Even Corey was like, we were all like,
even Corey, no, especially Corey. No, I was like, oh shit,
like out of nowhere.
What brought? Like, why is that what the guys? And I was just like, oh shit, no, nope, can't do that. Sir, you've offended me. Please mind your language, is what I told him. I was like, I don't appreciate that.
I don't remember that part. But nobody really clapped or even like interacted with him because it was so out of the blue. We were just like, oh, that's some, yeah, crickets.
Nah, I corrected him. I corrected that behavior right off the bat. I was like, sir.
Well, I think that's
here. My son's here. Yeah. He's never heard that word.
You got in trouble the night before that.
Oh, I did get in trouble the night before. What? Because I made a jack off joke.
Yeah.
I said, Spoon, quit jacking off. And there was like a kid fishing on the pier. And
a decent distance away.
Huh?
A decent distance away, though.
Yeah, like 100 yards away.
Yeah, I don't think he could have heard you.
No way he could have heard me. But
or
the
would
guy
have understood.
And I mean, airboats were running, like other stuff. There's just like boat engines everywhere. Like I don't think it was a
the fishing
possibility.
Guy did not enjoy my joke.
No, but he did not enjoy you as a person.
You know who we need on the podcast for different generations? Blaze.
We do not need Blaze on here.
Why?
I don't care. That'd be funny. But you need to put him like across from somebody.
Do you want me to tell you a Blaze story?
I know the one about the drive-through where his dad. Yeah, we all know that.
I
don't think you should. I don't think you should.
I'll say I don't think one. I don't think we should dox Blaze.
I don't think you should say.
Let's give him a different name.
No,
let's change the name.
No, it's like it's already out there. Like,
but I don't think you can do that about somebody else's kid. Like you gotta, you bring them into that conversation. Have Brandon.
You guys should call Brandon and get him to tell it right quick. But it's not that story. You don't know the story, so you're telling me not to tell a story you don't even know. This is something that happened between me and Blaze.
Yeah.
This is a nice little personal story between me and him.
Seems like it's going to be weird that you're having these kind of personal stories with him.
It is a funny story, but
do you think? But we should.
I got to think about Blaze in the future.
Yeah, I don't think
might not love that story out there.
Can we edit the name out?
No, you've said it. We've all said it 74 fucking times. Like, I don't think you should.
I'm asking Sohail if we can edit.
There's also not a whole bunch of people that, it's like.
I just want to see.
That's almost like a guess. Like you could just like, oh, was that? Oh,
I just want to see Spoon's reaction to this story. Do you not want to see Spoon's reaction to this story?
I do, but I gotta think about Blaze. It just
you keep saying his name, but you thinking about him.
It don't matter. The name and what's important is just. If I was him, I wouldn't want that story out there when I'm older and don't do that anymore because I'm like, oh, that was kind of.
It's such like a good story though.
Because at the time it's normal, it's funny for him, like it was to his friends. But then it's like,
no, I didn't know like his mother shed the light on why. I didn't know
think you should go into it.
I didn't know that's what he was doing.
I just don't think it's right.
Spoon.
I'm being serious. This is me as a father saying I don't think it's right to dox somebody else's kid like that.
Can we
it's not your place to do that.
If you want to call and get a permission slip, that's whatever. But
is this a minor?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
Like he's a child, like 9.
Hold on.
He's like 13.
No, he's like 13.
Either way, he wouldn't want that. He's gonna regret that in the future. Having that.
Yeah, having that conversation.
That's what I mean.
A trusted.
He didn't have a conversation with me.
Then how's the story between you?
Because he sent me a picture.
Oh, then don't do that.
No,
stop. Move the fuck on.
Y'all are just.
I'm a dad. Move on. Like. No, you don't need to do that.
I'm calling his mom.
You don't need to call her right now. Like
you're trying to be somebody's dad that you didn't birth him. I'm calling his mom.
I don't need to birth him.
Well, she says yes. It's like he don't need that. You know,
he doesn't need that.
We don't have to put it on the internet. We can
You're
edit
on the internet right now.
We can edit. No, we're not. We're not live. It can be edited, Spoon.
Okay. I still don't agree with it. Sohail, do you agree with it?
I can edit it out.
Yeah. You're taking something. This is the problem with everything in life. Both of y'all are taking something that could be edited out. That if he saw it, one, do you think he's going to be embarrassed when he walks up to you and tells you about his shit? He don't know you. Mm-hmm. He'll fucking snap it to the world right now.
I just mean right now he probably won't care, but in the future,
if
that
his
would definitely
name's
change.
edited out and nobody knows who it is, you think he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't want to do that"?
No, if his name ain't out there, it's like it's whatever. But it's like
y'all are. Listen,
the amount we're talking about him by name right now, implying that he did something horrendous, is
yes.
It's just it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
It's a funny story.
It's a funny ass fucking story.
But
it's
it's
funnier
like,
on my side than it is on his side.
No, absolutely.
It's funny as fuck. And Spoon is worried about it from a dad's point of view. I'm a father too. I had my own questions about what to do about it because I was like, oh shit, this is a problem. This is bad. This is bad. Like I want to whoop his ass. Like I want to go spank him right now for it. But he then apologized and asked who took the screenshot. And that's the best part. So do you want to hear the story or not? Because it is fucking funny.
I don't feel like I have a choice but to hear the story because you're gonna keep telling it.
I want to hear it.
Sohail wants to hear it. So
this is Brave New World, man.
This is a Brave New World. All right. So at the time, Blake, the person's 11 years old. So he's got a phone, right?
And he is a funny kid.
He's a funny kid. And his parents know he's got a phone. They let him have Snapchat for whatever reason, and he adds me on Snapchat, which I am somewhat conscious of about what I post on Snapchat because I know he's out there. So I don't get on Snapchat often, but I just so happen to be on Snapchat. And you know how on Snapchat you can see the little like preview picture? You know what I'm talking about, Sohail?
Yep.
Like for stories.
Yeah, for like stories. So you see it, and I was like, what is this a naked pic? And so I open it, and as soon as I do, I realize, oh shit, he put some boobs on the Snapchat. Like somebody sent him a picture, and now he's put it on the Snapchat. And I was like, oh fuck. And so I immediately X out of it, and I'm like, FBI, like, fucking chill, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this is not good. And I'm like, how do I talk to his parents about this? How do I, you know what I mean? Like, do I snitch him out? Like, how do I handle this? And he then messages me and tells me, hey, didn't mean to post that, like, whatever, you know. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to be a snitch. But I tell him, like, you don't need to be putting shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, be a decent human. Don't fucking do that shit. That's stupid. You're gonna go. You might go to jail, bro.
Yeah,
you're gonna
especially
get
if it's somebody his age.
And then I see on his story, he's like, on his actual story, he issues an apology and ask, but really, who took the screenshot, right? So he's like, but I need to know who took the screenshot, and it just kind of passes. It goes.
But I don't understand the screenshot reference.
So you can like when you take a screenshot, you save that picture. So the picture goes on the story. It's on the story. You can look at it for a number of seconds. You can set the number of seconds. And you can take a screenshot during the time it's up, and then you got the picture forever.
Okay.
So the picture goes away. And normally you're sending them, you know, you'd send a picture like that direct. You know, you wouldn't put it on your story for everybody on your friends list to see, but that's neither here nor there. So one day we're in our meeting, and I don't remember what we were arguing about, but we were arguing about something. We were all joking around in the meeting, and I said, "No, fuck you." I said, "You know, my kids are bad. Your kid put up a fucking nude on his story," and his mom just bust out laughing. She's like, I know, it's so fucked up, like blah blah blah. And I was like, why is that funny? And she's like, they were his boobs. And I was like, oh shit, they did not look like his boobs. You know what I mean? And I said, but the worst part is one of his buddies took a fucking screenshot thinking the same thing, and has that now and does not realize that that's what the screenshot is. You know what I mean? Like his buddy thought he had hit pay dirt.
Yeah. Now his buddy's questioning things.
Not questioning things.
Doesn't know.
And is doing what 13-year-olds do with, and I'm like,
we gotta teach these kids about National Geographic or like every Sears catalog. Like that's what we have.
Well, no, but anyways, and so I was like, did he ever find out? And he's like, no, he never came forward. I'm like, there's some kid out there right now.
So does it tell you somebody took a screenshot?
It should tell you who did.
But it will, but once you delete it, you get what I mean? Like, so all he probably saw was the little preview at the bottom that said somebody took, you know, one screenshot or two screenshots or whatever it is, and he didn't open it up. He just said delete, and then he realized I can't go back and see anything that I deleted. So he was trying to talk let one of his buddies know, hey, look, this is whatever. Now we don't have to put this on the internet because it's not that funny.
I mean, that's amazing. That's not bad. I mean, you made it seem way worse.
When you think you're looking at 11-year-old titties.
Okay, yeah.
I was shook. I was shook. Like I wanted to go drive to his house and talk to him in person, like set him down and be like, sir, do you not realize, like, I don't know, legally, I don't know. I know this is illegal. Like, I know it's illegal for you, for me, for everybody involved in this, everybody that opened that, like it. But anyways, it being his own.
I mean, is that still illegal? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I just. But his mom said that he was playing with his phone and realized he could manipulate the situation, and he thought it was funny and sent it out to everybody. And then when the screenshot happened, it shook him because he's like, "Oh no," because his dad is Brandon, so you know the conversations they have. You know what I mean?
I do. His dad
had already educated him on the birds and the bees, so he knew that somewhere a buddy.
Blaze tried to educate me on some of the birds and the bees during one of our interactions at one of the baseball games.
Did he?
Yeah, he's got him on video yelling stuff in the background.
What was he yelling?
Well, when me and Corey's the first game, the meetings of mine me and Corey had, where Corey had his whipped cream bottle, Blaze in the background.
Oh, that's right.
He's trying to cream on you. He's trying to cream on you.
He is in the background.
He was narrating that.
Oh yeah, I think it was his idea.
I should crop him out. Just Blaze.
Yeah, that was.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Well, I got 26 minutes. So
yeah, but what happened that day?
You tried to come down and acted like a whipped cream bottle was your wiener and wanted me to do shots out of it.
I think I was just trying to share some whipped cream with him.
I mean, you had it where your wiener is.
He took it a little.
I can't really, because from my angle, it looked like I wasn't paying attention to location. I discussed that with Jason. Like, as far as I thought, I was like, you were just giving whipped cream, but then it's like, oh, it was
whipped cream
a little bit different.
Let's go into a little more context here. My daughter's sitting here beside me, and my wife. And my wife doesn't want my daughter seeing this, so I already said, "Hey, man, quit," and went back to my stuff. And then my wife is like, "Hey, Corey, stop!" And he's like, "Wow, come on, take a shot."
Now, I remember it being like this.
It was not. You were holding it like this.
Yeah,
right
like
here.
this.
No, it was tucked in your crotch. He's got the video.
Let's pull the video.
He's got the video of you doing that.
Game time footage.
And when my wife kept asking and you didn't respond, I asked you personally. I knew you couldn't hear me, so I got up so we could have a conversation about it.
Yeah. Oh, it's because you were sitting down.
Yes.
So I had to reach down.
No, that's not what you were doing.
I was also standing on an elevated platform.
You definitely were making sure it. I mean, it's what any guy would have done in any guy situation. Well, it's just not something I want to explain to my what is, I'm sorry, 10-year-old daughter at the time.
All you gotta do is lie.
There was no need to lie. Why make it a situation?
No, it sounds. I agree. We're
gonna do whippets later.
Well, and when Emery asked me what was that all about, I said I think Mr. Jason has a little homophobe to him. You know what I mean? He doesn't like cream.
I mean that.
Yeah,
it's in there.
He's smiling so big right there.
I think that's just
your camera.
I didn't say it wasn't funny.
Which one?
Just
pick a camera.
The evidence is the evidence.
Yeah, but screenshot out to let me just show you the rest of this. Let's
hold on, sit back down, Braxton. Let's see. We gotta get this shot of Spoon. Keep scrolling. You might see something you like.
Stay on there.
Yeah, don't go swiping right or left.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You don't have the rest of this framed up because you saw it too.
But that's what I mean. Like my focus was on
the
what like he was.
Ryan has the whole thing on video.
So
Opie took the whole video of the event.
Yeah, but it's not close. It's not. I mean, you're making it look like I had it on.
You did.
I didn't.
You were sitting there like
the
this.
angle from my angle though.
Like this with your foot propped up. Like
no, look.
Take a shot.
There's a foot of distance in between.
There was not.
There is.
There was not. It didn't matter. My wife had asked you to stop multiple times.
From your angle, it looked. Look, there's a foot of distance between the end of the can and my body.
There is not. There is not.
There is. You can see the end of the can.
You just humped into it, man.
But this is after my wife had asked you to stop multiple times.
Yeah, I agree.
And
the second
other shot is
I was like, oh,
right here by my leg is my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter.
It's Blaze's idea.
Yeah.
What? I gotta look see if he's in the background.
He's not in the background.
No, he was yelling in the background.
He's up against.
Right before I stood up was when he was going.
He's on the field.
He's trying to cream on you, just screaming it as loud as he could. These were concepts I didn't feel like I needed to explain to my 10-year-old on the way home because Blaze had already had that talk.
Yeah, I understand. I know. The world's a crazy place out there, Spoon.
It's all good.
I hide all of the world's cruelness from my daughter. I'm just like
I'm glad you went home and talked to her about
Oh,
bodily emissions.
No, I mean, I just don't pull punches whenever it comes to it.
Well, we don't either. But I shouldn't have to tell my daughter about it
then
because...
No, you should never have to. You should never have to. I agree 100%. Braxton should never had it explained to him.
I mean, you're trying to make something else out of it.
I'm not. I agree with you. I'm in agreement. You should never have to explain
because you want to do what you're doing.
No, I didn't want to do what I was doing. When I think about stuff like that, right? I am an adult. You're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Braxton, an adult. He sees it. He might think it's funny. I might think it's funny.
Yeah.
You might think it's funny.
Right.
Anybody might think it's funny. A kid like Blaze looks at it. He understood it. He added his own little flair to it. But when my daughter looks at it, she don't know why that's funny.
Right.
She has no idea why it's funny. She might ask why it's funny. She might get an answer. She might get a lie. She might not get anything. She might get ignored. It's a game time decision for me. But I do know this wholeheartedly, without a doubt. I cannot control the behavior of anybody else in her atmosphere 24 hours a day. So, I don't want to have to explain it either. When we were in San Francisco and everywhere else, I was terrified that I was going
Why?
to have to explain something to her. Well, because I was going to give her the hard. What is that? That's drug use. Most likely heroin.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Meth. Like, what's meth? Well, it's a drug you don't want to use. What's that? I don't know if that's a lady or a man. We should probably ask, see how they identify, and then we'll know together. We'll both know.
Yeah, those are hard concepts because, like, on the way to school one day, my 10-year-old hits me up with, like, hey, you know, what about these drug things? Is it really? And I'm like, nah, you know, because you got to tell them the truth, too. It's like some drugs are fun, but some aren't. Like, fentanyl, probably not fun. It might be the first time. It might kill you the second time. Who knows?
I mean, whatever it is. I was sitting at lunch with Emery when the kid across the table gave the definition of gay. Gave it. He just fucking said, boom, this is what gay means.
Mm-hmm.
And Emery goes, is that what it means, Dad? I looked it up. It said it means happy. Does it mean happy or does it mean that? And I was like, well, you know, like most words, it has many meanings. That was it. That's the whole explanation. Because what he said wasn't the whole portrayal of what it meant. He said it meant married, like it's when a man marries a man, right? And I'm like, yeah, partly right. And Emery, you're also right. It has many meanings, like most words. You don't have to dive into, well, Emery, you know, gay is when there's sexual intercourse between people of the same sex. What's sexual intercourse? Well, it's when I think it could be many things, like there's oral, there's anal, there's pegging, there's, you know, let's go into all iterations of what this could mean, right? I give it to her like that, tell her the whole definition. It's not going to help her out any. You know what I mean? She's still going to be a confused 8-year-old, or I can leave it at a small segment. But I don't know how to approach it every time. I just know that I wasn't the person to educate her on that day. Her friend at the lunch table gave her the definition that he had. Where he got it from, I don't know. And now they have a gay math teacher. And it's not a big deal for me, but it's a big deal for
the community.
No, other kids in her class. And I don't know. And when she asked me about it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He has not, Mr. Teacher has not told me that specifically. And if your other kids in the class are saying that, they probably don't know either. So I would take what most people say with a grain of salt, sweetie. Don't worry about it. Ain't going to affect you. How's he doing on teaching you math? Because that's what I'm worried about. Are you getting Common Core taught to you properly? Poor Spoonie. I'm sorry, Spoon. We made it awkward. I won't never try to cream.
It just took a sad turn here.
It did. It's a total vibe killer. I just don't want it.
This was a whole vibe, and now it's not anymore.
Well, because it was
like a weird pedo vibe or something.
It's not pedo.
I'm just making a joke.
Is it because the teacher's gay?
No.
Why should anyone know what the teacher is or isn't?
That's what So Zoe got a male teacher for the first time this year. Him and his wife just moved here from Dallas. It was a huge culture shock. They went from like up here, Plano, to Cleburne, Texas. And he's a really nice guy, but she was super worried because she'd never had a guy teacher. And, you know, she's like 10. She's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, he's your teacher. It'll be fine. You know, there's all kinds of life dramas at that age.
So answer his question.
What's that?
I mean, growing up, I remember teachers talking about their husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. So you kind of just know. It's not like
that's true.
You know, you see their pictures, and I've been a teacher, and the kids are super interested in you. Like, I never tell them anything, but they'll know. Kids
well, but I don't think the problem is like, yeah, that's my husband or wife, whatever.
Yeah, but
like, I don't think anybody has a problem with that.
What you're missing is there's 40 because they got 2 classes now, so he's got his homeroom. Teacher has his homeroom, and then they go across the hall, and the other kids come over. So he's got 40, 50 kids. There's 40, 50 different versions.
Yeah, for sure.
Of what that means.
That's problematic.
Well, it's not problematic. It's 40 or 50 different imaginations, different life experiences. Like, this is the most curious time of your life. Like, of course you're going to fucking jibber jabber about it. And just like you said, I don't think any of them had ever had a male teacher. I think there's male teachers there, but they're like teachers' aides and stuff like that. I don't think there's ever since Emery's been to school, I don't think there's been a male teacher in the room. And then they've got the funnier teacher is "Good day, mate." "Good day, mate," and they all do the voice. I think he's a PE teacher from Australia, and he teaches them soccer.
So he's like, sounds like Bluey in there all the time.
Yeah, and when he walks, so I went and ate lunch. When he walks through, all the kids say "Good day, mate" to him in his native accent.
Well, that's sweet.
It is sweet. But I was like, he came over there, and I was like, "Are they doing that right?" Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I hear some English, I hear some Scottish, I hear some Australian. He's like, "Oh, they
Kiwi."
don't." Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I'm from Australia." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know the difference. I just hear a bunch of kids shouting all at once, 'Good day, mate.'"
Kiwi and Aussie's hard to tell the difference.
What? Yeah, but he's
But Brits and Aussie, after you've been around a bunch of them, it's real easy.
Until they say "Teague."
Maybe, but just hearing the way they talk, like it's different.
He lives in Teague now. So
and
how's he
Scots or?
Have you have to hear him say it? I mean, it's not like Whitley says it.
Have you met our little
Tig.
Scottish lady in
Tig.
in our Wharton apartments?
Huh?
So we got a little Scottish lady. She's from Scotland.
In Wharton?
Yeah, or in Wortham.
Oh.
In our little apartments there. She's on the bottom floor. She's the gossip keeper of the whole complex / key keeper. She's very Scottish. She's a funny little lady.
Are you going to evict her next?
I don't know why we would. Is she paying her rent?
I don't know.
She's very nice.
I just know you evicted somebody today, so I didn't know if you had a hit list or it's
No.
just non-paying tenants.
It's a non-paying tenant.
But no, I don't know. I don't like to Sohill. I think the way I don't know, but it's small town. I think it's just small town bullshit on how the kids found out. That's what I think. But
they just assumed it because he's like effeminate. Maybe.
I don't think they know.
I've got a friend that's really effeminate. He's got kids and wife, and he's like, "Hey guys, he's very effeminate." Dude.
You're not assuming that at 8 years old.
You're not
though.
at 8 years old. You don't know that.
I think it's more along the lines of what Sohill did say. It's just like, I guess that does make sense. Kids ask.
Kids ask. Now, in my day, we never got to know our teacher's first name. Like, it was a big deal if you ever figured out their first name. Like, you'd see it somewhere on some paperwork. But
I mean, could it just also be because the dude's effeminate and one parent said he's probably gay, and the kids heard
that
that
might be it.
I think,
then all the kids are like, "Oh, I heard he's gay," but they don't even know what it really means.
This is right. I think that's what happened. Now, when it came to Emery, I was like, it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and on the flip side, I think it's good for kids to have like role models and positive people in their life of all walks of life, so they're exposed early, right?
Yeah, and he's from a town nearby, so like, I mean, I went to meet the teacher. I hung out in his room the whole time, simply because the other teacher wouldn't let me fill out the paperwork that they wanted me to fill out at home. So I went into his room and I was like, "Hey, I got this paperwork." He's like, "Yeah, you need to fill that out." And I'm like, "Can I fill it out here and give it to you?" He's like, "Absolutely." I'm like, "You're my dude." So I sat down and did my homework in his classroom and turned it in.
Do you still fit that desk?
No,
Never outgrew it.
No, they don't have desks like that anymore.
It's the little tables and chairs.
They got the little tables.
You remember like how small those desks were? The ones you slid in from the side,
dude.
So
I wouldn't fit in them, and I think that's what happened. I think kids are fatter now.
Yeah, I don't think I ever fit those things. They were awful.
You might have been a fat kid. Did you fit in?
I was.
Oh, you didn't go to homeschool.
I was skinny like Deke until I hit 6th grade, and then I just blew up like a big old fatty.
Yeah, I always fit in the desk. I was always too short for my feet to touch the ground, though. But no, why do you think? What do you think a proper answer for whenever a kid asks that is?
I don't think you should lie, but I'm just a big advocate of like, it doesn't matter, gay, straight, whatever. Like, just I don't think it's a great idea for a lot of influence to come from any teacher like that, because kids at that age look up to them. It's like, to me, that's just more the parents. But I don't think they should lie. Like, kid ask a question, give vague answers, let the parents explain it, but it's like whatever.
I see the uproar about it, about what they're, and to me, I don't remember sex ed. Do you remember sex ed?
Sixth or seventh grade. Yeah, I remember it.
And
it was such a big deal because my family was so religious. Like, I was one of the few people that got to sit out of it. Like, they made me sit out of it. My parents wouldn't sign the permission slip for me to be in it. So I was one of the 3 kids that had to go sit and watch some crappy movie away from the whole school.
See, I don't remember sex ed, but it was health class is whenever they.
So I had it in 6th grade, and then we had health class, which I think they finally relented. That was in 9th grade when they let me.
Yeah, in health class they told us about STDs.
I remember they had a nurse come in at my high school. She had AIDS, and she's full-blown AIDS, and she had gotten it from work, from a bad deal. And of course, obviously, when HIV and AIDS came out, nobody knew what caused it, and there was a lot of stuff. But it was a big deal that this lady came to our little town and was talking about it to students.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I remember the prisoners coming and talking to us, but I don't remember the AIDS nurse. But
I was probably just a time window. I'm older than you too. Like when
just dead by then.
My mom, like I don't want. My mom had to have a lot of.
You said full blown AIDS.
I didn't realize, like, looking back, my mom had to have a lot of transfusions at one point, and that was
Yeah, keep going.
So, my mom got tested for years, and I didn't understand why. Well, I would go with her as a kid and just go get these blood tests and stuff. It was during the AIDS scare. Nobody knew what was going on and stuff like that because she had to have all these blood transfusions.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah, I guess if they weren't testing.
They weren't testing it. There was blood getting through because nobody knew what it was at the time. And I put it all together after the fact. I just remember my mom going and getting tested for months.
Oh.
Like, as a little kid, she'd be in there getting blood drawn and stuff.
Like, that's pretty intense.
Well, I didn't understand it at the time.
Did y'all have high school? Did y'all have sex ed?
I don't think in high school. I remember my friends getting it in middle school, but I was still homeschooled at that point.
See, I just don't remember it. Like, I remember health class and the STDs. Like, I remember them hammering the STDs. Like, if you have sex, you're basically going to catch.
Yeah, you're going to die.
You're going to die.
If you have sex with one person that's had sex with 2 people, and that person's each had sex with 2 people, and then they show you this chart, you've slept with 147,000 people.
There might have been those classes, but like I was on the AP classes. It's pretty much biology, then chemistry, then physics.
But you still have to have a health credit. And well, I don't know about your.
I don't know about high school. Like it.
They made us have a health credit. Home ec.
You had electives, but other than that, I mean, you had to have a certain amount of math, social studies, and science.
Yeah.
Where you're only in Englishes.
And I don't know when they changed the degree program, but the health credit I really think was there, like it was like health/home ec.
No, health was definitely a requirement for a long time statewide. For a long time,
it was.
There's electives and there's PE credits that you got to have.
Well, they probably just changed the rules because it was a statewide deal.
Health is still definitely required.
So I don't know if maybe it was middle school or what then.
Yeah, sex ed is normally you do a little bit in 5th grade, and then the main one in 7th grade science class.
I think mine was 6th grade because we had an intermediate school in Joshua where they popped you out for like a year before they sent you to middle school.
But the education is horrendous, very unscientific, very non-comprehensive, very. A lot of states have abstinence only.
I remember reading, this will tell you how old I am. I remember looking up sex in the encyclopedia trying to figure it out because you could only hear about it from your friends, right? Like, this is pre-internet. Like, you couldn't get a visual.
Well, they had it in the health book. They had the instructions on how to put on a condom.
Yeah, but they're like showing you on a banana, and then they bring the like model of a female anatomy and a male anatomy. Like,
so what you're saying is they should have a male stand up there, whip his dick out in front of a bunch of hospitals.
No, I'm just saying you still don't understand
show how to put a condom on.
I remember my friends this is like probably, I don't know, 8th grade. This friend's like, dude, you're just jerking off. And then I'm like, I don't know what that is. And they're like, they started making fun of me because I didn't understand that concept. Like you learn all that stuff on the fly. Like it's not something they teach you in class. They're not.
Oh God.
Well, that's funny.
Oh God.
It's a good picture right
That's
there.
a good one. You're
a little crossed legs.
Spoon said in the 8th grade they were talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Like they were making fun of me. They're like, "You don't know what it is," and you're like, "Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is," and you don't. Like that just is what.
Yeah, that I remember 4th grade.
You don't understand how. You don't understand. I went to a private school all the way through until 6th grade, a religious school where I was with the same 6 kids in every grade all the way until they dumped me into a public school in 6th grade.
Your experience. Yeah, your friends talk about fucking any of that shit, jacking off any of it?
I don't know what it was like in Cleveland, but
I went to school with 6 kids from the time I was in kindergarten
but
through 6th grade.
What age do you remember?
I just middle school, I guess. Started that.
I remember being 10 years old on the bus.
Yeah, I didn't ride
on the school bus when, I guess we're going to dox everybody, when Jimmy Moore showed me his fucking ball fro, and I was like, what? You got a ball fro? And we were both 10. We had to sit by each other on the bus. He got on the bus at the very end, and I was like, he's like, you don't have hair on your balls? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, let's check. And so we checked, and then Brandon Nemi also in the mix. You know what I mean? So
Brandon Nemi showed me his too.
But
congratulations.
So that's when it came on my radar that I should have bodily hair, and I never will forget. Like, you know,
how's it working out for you? Did that ever fill in?
No, we kept status. You know what I mean? Like whenever you
do you still DM each other? You're like, Jimmy, like, hey, it's all there now.
No, you knew, because once you got to athletics, you got to see everything that was going on in everybody else's life. And I just remember, like,
so is that one dude in 6th grade that had like a full beard?
Yes, I just
wow, I don't have that or that giant beard. That is
or underarm hair.
Holy
like, you know what
shit.
I mean? I was like, whoa, hold on. I'm supposed to be looking in other places. Like underarms are a thing. That's a thing. And then
that's
chest hair. Like people in the 7th grade with a full fucking like chest hair, and you're like, this is crazy. I did not know the locker room was going to be like this. But yeah, the conversations quickly got down to brass tacks.
Well,
Jason, do you have it hard out?
Jason's leaving.
Yeah, like 2
He's
minutes.
gotta go.
Can we film some intro outros with you?
Hey, when's the next episode drop? We already got one that's about to upload.
Yeah, I need to ask Margot. I'll check. I'll tell you.
I feel like.
I feel like we can't use half of this.
I feel like you're in a good spot because you've seen 10-year-old,
wow.
You know, and 44-year-old ones. Like you've lived the full gamut.
Dude, when I think about somebody like Braxton going to homeschool and never being on a school bus.
I was never on one.
You were never on a school bus
Never.
either? That's probably why y'all grew up to be good humans.
And
the school bus is what gets you.
Like, so when I went to 6th grade, I didn't have any friends. I was the weirdest kid there. All I knew was like Bible verses and stuff. So I'm like they dumped me straight into the worst place you could be, which is middle school. I had no friends, so I didn't have anybody to even influence me because I didn't have any friends. I went there for like 3 years as the weird kid, and then they moved me to another school.
That's why you had such a good time in college.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, all this stuff they told me was. I'll tell you a really funny story about what I got as an 18-year-old for graduating high school from a church at the next podcast.
Yeah, this is where I grew up.
I went off the rails in college.
A friend of mine lost his virginity to a hooker in Mexico at 15 that his dad bought for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like hearing that story as adults. Like when I was an adult, I was like,
yeah, I have friends.
I was like, oh my God, like y'all partied way harder than like I thought. You know what I mean? I was like, that's intense. But in school, like on the school bus, a lot of things transpired.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to go to movies or boy-girl swim parties or school dances.
And you never rode the bus either. Like
I was only allowed when we went to the video store. We were only allowed to get rent movies from the Disney aisle.
I mean, I didn't get to go to the movie store, so I'm not like there was no.
There was
like we didn't rent movies. We didn't.
Well, that was our one out. We didn't get to go to the movies, so we got to go rent stuff from the Disney aisle.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that.
So I took a hard right in college as soon as I figured out that
that's wild to me.
I was like, I'm going to do all the stuff
on just public school alone. I can't tell you for how much nonsense took place. Like,
yeah, I made up for it all. I'm fine.
Well, nothing like that. Like, I mean, it's just like kids. Like that's why I guess that's why as a parent I know how little control I have over it, because at some point in time, you know, somebody's going to be like, I got this, and it'll be like, whoa, I want to see that.
I think
like,
that's
wow, that's crazy. You got a third nipple.
I think that's why I'm so open with my kids about stuff, is because I went hard the other way. I knew what I was hidden from me, and then you're like, wait, they told me I would die the first time I, like saw a naked girl, like my eyes would fall out or some shit, and then you break
loose.
Yes, I went hard, like over
Chris
here.
Riker pulled a third nipple out on the school bus.
That's pretty cool.
No.
Everybody has a third nipple.
And you're like fucking 10. This guy's like 15, and all of a sudden,
that's hilarious.
All of a sudden, there's a third nipple out on the school bus.
Was it in general vicinity or like on his stomach?
No, it's in general vicinity. It was like,
oh,
and I mean, at that time, you're just like, wait, what? Hold on, what's the commotion about? And you're like 10, you know what I mean? So you don't have any,
get a glimpse.
You don't have any influence. No. He showed it to everybody. Because as soon as
he's lapping the bus, he's up and down. Like,
well,
check this out.
No, it was like the seniors were probably bullying him, and then they realized he had a third nipple, and then they made him show everybody. And so then you're like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I got questions. I got more questions than answers.
Yeah.
So you go home and you ask your dad. You're like, hey, you know what I mean? Kid on the school bus.
What'd Virgil say? I'd like to know. I'd like to know Virgil's answer about
a
this.
kid on the school bus has a third nipple, and he's just like, all right, yeah, don't hang out with him.
Avoid him.
It's probably a weird kid.
Yeah,
you might catch that.
I mean,
that's probably contagious. I'm not Woody Harrelson. This is the Different Generations podcast.
Nobody ever thought you were.
People tell me that all the time. It's so weird. I don't think I look like him either. It's the nose, I think.
You should say,
my name's Corey Thompson, not Brad Pitt. This is the Different Generations podcast. That's as believable as Woody Harrelson with this motherfucker.
I get it. It's weird to me when they're like, yeah, you look like Woody Harrelson. I'm like, I don't.
My name's Braxton Harrison. I'm currently co-hosting with Shrek and someone that's defaulted on a Best Buy credit card. This is the Different Generations podcast.
That's better.
I actually do kind of see it.
I think it's the nose, but
it's the hair too, and the beard, and the
white trash.
Anger.
It's the white trash.
I'll take it.
Green shirt. I was going to say green shirt.
I've been called worse than that.
But I don't. Dang, Spoon. What are the kind of rednecks that? Woody Harrelson's pretty rough, man.
It's fine. I've been called way worse. I've heard Dirk Nowitzki too. He's pretty rough as well.
I mean, it's like there's
Dirk ain't a pretty. Dirk is not a pretty man.
Y'all are pointing at each other, and it's.
I didn't say Dirk wasn't an amazing basketball player.
They are pointing at each other. It's like it's the Spider-Man meme where it's like,
good.
Woody might be my soulmate.
Y'all are pointing at each other.
Yeah. Man, you got to get over your homophobia before you can soulmate up Woody.
Yeah. Anyways.